Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm
I am
unbeatable.
unbeatable. Couple minutes not a score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stock, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
Welcome to the British Basketball League YouTube channel and to all of our viewers in the USA. It's week 25 and we are approaching the conclusion of the regular season where the top teams are jostling for seeding supremacy. Two of those are Newcastle and Caledonia. It's 2-1 to Newcastle in the series so far this season as the Battle of the North returns to Newcastle tonight. So, taking you through this one is Tahir Hijat. He's alongside London Lions captain Jordan Taylor. Take it away, guys.
Welcome to the Virtu Motors Arena in Newcastle in the northeast of England. It's third versus fourth in the British Basketball League. The Eagles arrived tonight having lost 3 out of their last 4. A badly timed run of poor form as teams jostle for seeding supremacy. Head coach Mark Stutel will be keen to ensure their 6 remaining fixtures have a real impact on their final league position. Conversely, Caledonia have won 3 out of their last 4 and will be looking to tie up their series with Newcastle 2 apiece. Confidence will be high. Quade Green and Clifton Moore Jr. are 2 of the most informed players in the league at the moment. Coach Gareth Murray will be reminding his players they beat Newcastle by 18 points just 18 days ago. Welcome to British Basketball League Championship action. The Newcastle Eagles making a home welcome for the Caledonia Gladiators. Tip-off at 7:45. And my name is Tahir Hijat alongside Jordan Taylor. And if you didn't already know, this guy right here, he is a baller.
Oh, beautiful pass from JT. Why not? Why not?
We love it, Jordan Taylor.
Hand off with Taylor. Taylor, Hail Mary. Oh, baby!
Seems like so long ago, JT.
It does seem like ages ago. This season is flying by, and it's been a tight race. We've seen it, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, really tight in that pack.
Well, we're talking about that. It's a crunch time in the season, the road to the O2. Is there a big difference between 3rd and 4th?
Yeah, there's a huge difference. 3rd seed, you have to go to Cheshire, who obviously is our trophy champion, excuse me. But if you get to see the 6th seed, it's potentially Sheffield. You get a home court advantage. The 4th seed, still jostling with that 5 if you lose, if you're Newcastle tonight. And then you might have to go on the road to face Leicester. So it's a big, big game, especially for Newcastle and for Caledonia as well, who wants to keep pace with Cheshire.
Well, what are we expecting from these 2 teams? I mean, Newcastle, they're coming out of European competition now, only focusing on the league, and Caledonia, they're hitting form.
Caledonia is hitting form in big part to Quade Green, as well as the other guys. Newcastle struggling a little bit, but tonight is a perfect chance to get back on track for Newcastle and a perfect chance to continue the rhythm for Caledonia.
Well, let's take a look at these league standings then, because things are heating up. Of course, London Lions got the job done early. Cheshire sitting pretty in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. They can see Caledonia, Newcastle, Bristol are yet to be the final confirmed spot. Manchester Giants still have a slim glimmer of hope for them making the playoffs. It's really tight right now, JT.
Really, really tight. You Sheffield just beat Newcastle 2 games in a row. Last 2 times they played, they're trying to hit form here late in the season. They're scoring more points. They're pushing the pace a little bit. The defense is still there. Leicester's been playing well, even without Teddy Allen. He'll come back and make it even more interesting. And then the Bristol is more of a foregone conclusion for them to get in down there.
Well, let's take a look at the fixtures that are coming up this weekend. A packed weekend of action going right through to Monday. Of course, live on Sky Sports, though, tomorrow, Sheffield Sharks taking on the Riders.
Sheffield Sharks taking on the Leicester Riders. That's a similar matchup to tonight, that 5-6. That's an even bigger deal. Sheffield can sneak up into that 5. If Newcastle loses tonight, then they look at that 4, and it gets really interesting. You want to get that home court advantage, at least for the first round. That makes a big difference in what you can do in the playoffs.
Well, we've got UK viewers and, of course, our viewers over in the US. It's going to be a great game. We've got some more analysis coming up for you right after this break. Welcome back. British Basketball League Championship action. Myself, Tahir Hadjat, alongside Jordan Taylor. Newcastle Eagles hosting the Caledonia Gladiators. Well, it's time for some analysis. Let's take a deep dive into some of the individual talent on display tonight, starting with the Eagles and Sticky Ricky McGill.
Ricky McGill, I know you love his game. I love his game. Problem is, he's been struggling a little bit over the last 5. You see there his season numbers, 18, 6, and 4. Shows what he means to Newcastle. Only 13.6 points a game over the last 5. They've lost 3 out of 4. They need him to do what he does, which is get busy, get tricky, get sticky, and do all that for Newcastle to be good. We know what Jordan Johnson does, and he's that second head of that monster.
Well, there's a gentleman who lives his life above the rim, and his name is Taj Green.
Taj Green makes a dunk contest out of every British Basketball League game. It's fun to watch. I saw you did the last game they played. He had a crazy dunk, and I don't even think you reacted because it's almost become normal. But Taj is the X factor for them. He's averaging 15 and 8 over the last 3 games for them. 13 and 8 on the season, 2 offensive rebounds over the last 3 offensive rebounds per game on the season. He creates extra shots for them. He creates energy. He blocks shots. He also creates mismatch problems for the Eagles.
Well, let's see which green reigns supreme for the Caledonia Gladiators. Is it Quade Green?
Quade Green might be one of the best players in the league right now. Might be one of the best signings. He's averaging 24 and 5 in only 6 games, but his basketball pedigree is unmatched. 5-star guard out of Philly. He's a young bull, top 25 ESPN. He played at Kentucky. He played at Washington. He played with Shea Gilgeous, Kevin Knox, guys like that, Tyler Hero, and he's been everything for Caledonia in replacing Ian DeBose.
Well, to quote our producer, if you want more, you call Clifton Moore Jr.
Clifton Moore, and he's been giving you more and more and more each month. Starting in December, he started to take off. Over the last 3, he's averaging 19 and 12, including a 29 and 10 effort against Leicester and 18, 17, 4 and 4 blocks against Newcastle last time they matched up. That is the blockness monster, and we're looking forward to him getting busy tonight.
Well, the Daddy Eagle, Mark Stutel, will be hoping to steer his team to success tonight. They've lost 3 out of their last 4, but Gareth Murray, he ain't going nowhere in a hurry. He's looking forward to see how this matchup comes to fruition this evening. Let's check out the starting 5s then, starting with the Newcastle Eagles. Let's see how they line up tonight. It's pretty much how they've lined up for most of the season. Darius Defoe at centre, 0 Ricky McGill, number 11 Jordan Johnson, number 1 Larry Austin Jr., and number 55 Taj Green, and a healthy bench there for the Newcastle Eagles. For the Caledonia Gladiators, they're missing a few on the bench tonight. No Farah Alihodzic, no Ian DeBose, and no Carl Jimenez, but they line up like this: Patrick Whelan, Princeton Onwas, Clifton Moore Jr., sharpshooter Lucas Polita, and Quade Green. Well, let's hear from those coaches about what they think of tonight's matchup.
Yeah, I think this time of the year, it's about that consistency word. It's about everybody, you know, doing the best that they can and being masters in their roles. It's about us clearly playing to our identity on every given possession, both sides of the ball, and understanding that, you know, we have 6 games and it's playoff basketball time.
Yeah, I think we're playing some good basketball right now. I think our defense has definitely improved. Offense, we've scored the ball a lot better, more efficient. But where the defense is where we're really focusing on right now.
Yeah, I think Quade Green's, you know, can change the dynamic of them since he's come in. You know, he's given them something that they were missing in terms of playmaking, scoring. You have to guard them different ways, and I think that Clifton Moore's recent form, credit to him, but I think, you know, Quade Green has also been instrumental in that.
Would you say that Quade Green is the signing of the season?
He's definitely helped us, impacted us offensively, sure. It gave us a boost of energy for sure. He finds guys open shots. He can score the ball at a high rate as well. So it's definitely gave us a boost with the injuries we have as well. So it's definitely give us a 9-10 guys now with 3 guys still injured. So yeah, it's definitely gave us a big boost offensively. Defense, he can throw it as well. But he's finding other people. He's just making everybody else better around him.
Over these next 6 league games, we understand the schedule is a little bit more manageable for us. So exceptionally proud of what we achieved as a club, as an organisation in Europe this year. You know, still bitterly disappointed that we were so close to taking that next step to the Final Four, but it's something in the postseason I'll get a chance to reflect upon, you know, a little bit more detailed. And right now, yeah, like you say, 100% attention on the British Basketball League.
Well, he didn't really want to say it, Gareth Murray, but I'm going to ask you the question. Is Quade Green one of the best pickups this season?
Easily. I mean, you have Teddy Buckets. You have a plethora of guys who've come in and done their thing, including his teammate Michael Bothwell. But Quade Green has come in. The Gladiators are averaging 95 points per game since he's joined the team. They're averaging only 87 on the season. So he's been a dynamo. He's been dynamic for them. We talked about his pedigree playing with guys like Shea Gilgeous, Tyler Harrell, Keldon Johnson, multiple NBA players, and he was the top 25 recruit coming out of high school. So he is no slouch. The only other 5-star in our league other than Sam Decker.
And very quickly, Mark Strutel, he mentioned it's more manageable now for them. You're looking forward to see how they fare?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. They need to find some consistency going into the playoffs. They've been up and down this year, but we know the talent they have on the roster. They were predicted to do things before it, and we'll look forward to them doing things tonight.
Well, tip-off is just around the corner in Newcastle. Don't go anywhere. The Eagles take on the Caledonia Gladiators. The crowd is ready for this one. The atmosphere is always great at the Virtu Motors Arena. There's your officials, Simon Unsworth, Jean-Paul Heron and Neil McKelvey. Your officials for tonight. My name is Ty Hadja alongside Jordan Taylor. We're taking you through today's game. The Newcastle Eagles taking on the Caledonia Gladiators. It should be a bumper matchup between 3rd and 4th place respectively in the British Basketball League Championship. This is the form guide in the road to the playoffs. And things are looking sweet for tonight's matchup. Jordan, what do you think is the best matchup that you're looking forward to individually tonight?
There's no doubt. It's Jordan Johnson and it's Quade Green. Although I expect to see Larry Austin on Quade Green a little bit more defensively. He's a bulldog defensively. He can give him problems. He's strong. He's physical. But from an offensive standpoint, those two should be getting some buckets.
Well, tip-off is underway. Welcome to our viewers in the UK and the US of A. As an early steal for Ricky McGill, and not doing what characteristically Newcastle do and push the ball up the floor. They're slowing things down. Here's Johnson.
That's one thing that Caledonia is going to have to be careful of, is turnovers, because that's when Newcastle is at their best, turning defense into offense. And when they find that consistency on defense, they're one of the best teams in the league and one of the toughest to deal with easily.
Well, it's an end-line possession as Newcastle then turn the ball over. And Jordan Johnson Got a little bit of early sweat on his fingertips. The ball slips away from his possession. Here is that matchup now. Jordan Johnson and Quade Green. They've gone for Johnson here.
Johnson has to start on him because of Caledonia's size. You have to put Larry Austin, as you see on Lucas Paliza. Jordan Johnson not quite big enough to deal with those other guys and keep them off the glass and other things. So we will have to match up with him a little bit, but look for Larry Austin at times.
Oh, wow, Green splits the screen, but doesn't get the finish. Just a little inside what we can expect tonight.
That's what you can expect. Him getting in the paint, slippery. He's going to find ways to slip through cracks, slide off guys, head fake, up and unders. He's got all that in his bag.
Charge Green back to basket, body fake, no good for the finish. Paliza comes up with the rebound. Onwas. Catch and shoot, Pat Whelan, and you already know that's cash money.
Welcome sign for the Caledonia Gladiators. Patrick Whelan, 15 points a game, 44 from the three-point line. Didn't play these the last time these two teams matched up.
Here is Moore Jr. inside, and straight away, impact for the Caledonia Gladiators. Push out to a 5-0 start.
That's what Caledonia can do. They're not the fastest team in the league, although we mentioned Quade Green has helped pick up their pace, but they will always run opportunistically. See Clifton Moore running right to the front of the rim, and Quade Green doing one of the many things he does, getting the dime.
Ricky McGill extending that right arm out, getting his offensive rebound, looking for the referee for an and one call, but the bucket will be good enough.
Ricky McGill showing his versatility early. A little stretch Armstrong, missed the layup, but then shows his strength and balance to go back right, that quick second jump, showing his athleticism.
Let's talk a little bit about styles of play, JT. You know, Caledonia, as you mentioned, they're not quite as fast as running the floor as the Newcastle Eagles are, as Green fires that up from way downtown, but they work methodically, they get good actions to create scoring opportunities for their players.
Yeah, they're going to run their sets, they're going to run them well, and like we said, they're going to run opportunistically. However, Quade Green has added the new element of being able to push the ball and find those cracks and get those quick scores, as well as he's opened up shots for other guys. Not that Ian DeBose didn't do that. He was averaging 6 assists. As you see here, Patrick Whelan getting it going. We're opportunistic push early, as we talked about. Michael Bothwell loving it. But Quade Green, he can pass the ball a little differently than Ian DeBose. Ian DeBose is a strong guard. He's fast. He's going to be a little more physical, where Quade Green is going to flatten out the defense really quickly by pushing it at you and then opening up gaps for other guys and himself.
We'll be having statistical support of Jordan Taylor all night long as Larry Austin Jr. smokes the layup on the left hand. Did the right thing, getting in front of his defender, but no composure on the finish on that opportunity, as the turnover here comes from Green. Johnson pushing the ball forward now for the Eagles, going all the way and intercepted now by Onlas. This is really scrappy early on here. Quade Green for 3, and it's good. Wide open triple.
Super sloppy early, and that's what you hate to see if you're Newcastle. 8 points for Caledonia, all in transition early. So that's not a good sign, because Caledonia, you mentioned, is good run in their sets. You can't allow them to get those easy buckets in transition, especially Quade Green, a wide open 3 and an easy assist. That's going to help him get his rhythm early.
Oh, well, it looks like he's going to have a change of footwear in this one. Quade Green. Well, I think he's just maybe removing this. Oh, he's taking the soles out, and he's got to put them in some new vehicles.
You can change the shoes, but you always got to have the orthotics. Tough miss there by Larry Austin. Really good job by Clifton Moore there to sprint back on defense and force that miss. Made Larry Austin think about it. You never give up on a play. That's the effort you love to see if you're Coach Murray.
Well, a strong start here at the Virtu Motors Arena for the Caledonia Gladiators. The Newcastle Eagles need to stamp their authority on the home court. Here's their last 4 results. A loss against Caledonia, a loss against Sheffield, a win against the Surrey Scorchers, and then a loss on the road against the Sheffield Sharks at the Cannon Medical Arena. Here's Mark Stutzel. Let's see what he's drawing up here.
Chin, okay? Charge step, regular chin, okay? This way. D's getting you, JJ, T, LA, and then T and JJ, okay? And let's go.
All right, then, Mark Stewart drawing that one up. Jordan, you're going to break that down for us very quickly. It was quite obvious there.
Yeah, it's quite obvious, and a lot of the stuff they run is going to be really simplistic. It's really just going to be able to create space for Ricky McGill and Jordan Johnson and allow them to make a play, and then other guys are going to play off that. Taj Green is going to cut out of things like that, but it looks like right now it's going to be some type of dribble handoff into a swing and possibly a step up. You see Devin Whitfield is going to check in early for Newcastle.
There he is, sprinting up the floor as Paliza matches up with him. But right now, Larry Austin Jr. on the ball. Johnson up top. Here's the screen from Green. Jordan Johnson floating it up high. And that is deflected away, and it will be a Caledonia possession. Not what they wanted coming out of the timeout.
You know, not necessarily what they wanted. They got a decent shot there. They went with chin action, which is a pin down for Jordan Johnson to catch the ball, and then a back screen for Larry Austin, potentially get something going to the rim, and then a spread ball screen. So you didn't get the result you wanted, but you got the action you wanted. And we saw the results for Newcastle. Nice pass there by Green. That's good offense by Caledonia. That's exactly what we talked about. Pocket pass. Put Defoe in the ball screen. He's a little bit elder statesman like myself. It's hard for him to move those puppies. Utilize that. A great pass by Clifton Moore, showing his growth and development.
Well, a foul is called here. 2 shots to come. Foul is called on number 10, Princeton Onwas. And here is that pass from Quade Green. You can't leave Lucas Peliza open. He's a guy, brilliant catch and shoot.
Brilliant catch
shooter.
and shoot, but a great design there by Coach Murray, putting him on the backside. You have no choice but to help from him. There has to be some type of rotation. If Clifton Moore is coming downhill, that opposite weak side guy has to rotate to Peliza, force another extra pass, and you have to go into scramble mode. But like I said, a great design from Coach Murray there. Great pass by Green, great execution all around.
Well, nearly all of the starting 5 players for Caledonia have got themselves on the score sheet. In this one, as Taj Green opens up his bank account from the free throw line, 2 for 2. Now let's see how Caledonia run this offense. Here's Green, Onwas setting the down screen, Whelan curling off it. Patrick Whelan still working off the ball. That's turned over.
Good job holding up there, fighting through screens. You're going to see a lot of pin downs, a lot of pin down action from Caledonia.
Oh, damn, Taj Green throwing it in the lane. And we spoke about that at the beginning of the game.
We spoke about him making his own personal dunk contest, but we also talked about getting turnovers for Newcastle. You get a quick drag screen. Jordan Johnson has the ball. You push it downhill, and here it goes again. Larry Austin. There's Taj Green, can't quite finish.
No, he can't finish that time, but nice handles there from Larry Austin Jr. to get to the bucket. That's Patrick Whelan now. Hands the ball back over to Peliza once again. Straight in his hands. And the thing is, I like what makes him a successful catch and shoot maker, should we say, is he's always set. His knees are bent. All you need to do is put the ball exactly where he wants it, and he's straight into his jump shot.
Very fluid. Every single shot looks the same, as you mentioned. That's one thing that coaches talk about. Don't have your jumper look like a snowflake, because it's different. You have variation, movement in your jump shot. It's harder to replicate, harder to make. Lucas Peliza is the same every time. As you see Jordan Johnson pushing it downhill. Great pass there. And nobody's going to jump with Taj Green, not even Clifton Moore. As you see, that was kind of a fake contest. He kind of jumped to the side.
Decision.
Yeah, business decision. There you go.
Whitfield fires that one up deep from behind the arc. No good. 5-minute mark in this game. Green showing off the handles, and the foul is called. It Defoe raises his hand to claim that foul. And now Quade Green, I'm just checking to see if they've called the 2 free throws, which they have. As he picks it up, and here's that catch and shoot action there from Peliza. Caledonia on fire from behind the arc, early doors, 4 for 5 from downtown. And Green accentuating the foul call. He goes to the line for 2.
Quade Green accentuating that foul call and accentuating the movement in Darius Defoe's hips, making him move those puppies, man. That was a nasty in and out crossover coming off the ball screen. That made that look a lot easier than it is. And going back to that 3 by Peliza, that 3 ball is on Taj. Taj Green went for the offensive rebound. He missed it. He has to sprint back and get numbers for Newcastle, because they're playing 5-on-4, and then you have to make a choice. You can't leave Lucas Peliza wide open for 3. Right now, 9 out of their 16 points are wide open. Lucas Peliza and Quade Green 3s, which is disastrous if you're Mark Studel in Newcastle early in the game.
Well, here comes Defoe, receiving it in the block, one-on-one with Clifton Moore, testing the strength. And there is the veteran experience of Darius Defoe, just showing the young blood how it's done.
Showing him how it's done. He's showing me, shut up, Jordan, quit talking about my hips. I still got that working for me, a tough up and under on the young pup.
Well, we're going to take a quick break right now. Don't go anywhere. Caledonia on top.
Stop the throw.
There's Mark Strutel. He won't be too happy with his team's performance early on in this one. But let's talk about the turnovers. It's 4 apiece for each team. Is that because of the pace of this game?
I think it's just a lack of focus, honestly, right now. But, you know, Newcastle's used to playing a high pace. But 4 turnovers, especially for Newcastle, they're second in the league and with turnovers at only 12 a game. Caledonia not far behind them at 13. But what's happened is Caledonia's gotten easy buckets early. And if you're Newcastle, you're working 16 points, 6 minutes in, 5.5 minutes into the game is not what you want. That's why when you look at their losses, the 2 to Sheffield, they've given up 90 points to Sheffield, who's not known for scoring the ball. As Fraser Malcolm gets a relatively good look and he just misses it there.
Well, Fraser Malcolm coming off the bench has been revitalised, really, as Defoe drops it in for 2. Revitalised to the Caledonia Gladiators. He's come off when they needed him and made big plays, especially from behind the arc.
He's been really good. Over half his shots are from behind the arc, shooting 41% from 3. And he's actually held up well on defense as well. I don't think he's gotten credit, especially in post defense. Teams have been trying to target him over the past few weeks. He's done a good job at holding up.
Well, I was going to mention that because against the Lions, he made it really tough work for both Gabe and Josh Sharma in that game. Really gave you guys a hard time in the paint.
Actually, yeah, and Connor Morgan, really. Connor is low down there on the block, and he got switched, as you see it here again. Here's Taj Green with that matchup, and Ty forced him out of bounds right there. He holds up again. But yeah, he got Connor quite a few times, and Connor, I've been on the victim side of Connor on the block. He's got fadeaways, he's big, he's strong, and Fraser Malcolm has done a great job.
Do you think his ability to be agile in the defensive end there? Look, he's pushed Taj to the baseline. He's got there quick enough to force him out of bounds, and when you post him up in the block, he can move his feet quickly. Do you think that's an asset?
Yeah, I think definitely it's that, but as well, he just stays solid. He stays in front of you, and he makes you make a tough shot. And then once you don't see it going one time, you keep forcing it. The offense kind of stays stagnant, and it's like you get a little bit of help, you know what's behind you, and you see another 3 from Caledonia.
Well, they've slipped into the zone now, Newcastle, the 3-2.
Newcastle went to the zone, which is going to open up more shots, and like I said, Fraser Malcolm missed 1. Patrick Whelan, not so fortunate.
Josh Ward-Hibbert's also checked into the game for the Newcastle Eagles. He's been in and out of the team this season through injury, but when he gets going, he can be a valuable tool for the Newcastle Eagles roster as Taj Green now goes back to basket. Mismatch against Bothwell.
Mismatch against Bothwell. That time he took his time, gave him a bump, tough footwork on the block, a nice turnaround to his right shoulder, right hand hook. That's pretty much impossible to stop if you're Michael Bothwell.
Well, here he is, Bothwell, coming off the screen from Clifton Moore. The re-screen arrives. Moore slips through, he's waiting on the free throw line, trying to find him. Out, Kyle Johnson wide open for 3. And there goes another one. Another triple for Caledonia. They're on fire right now.
They are executing, and they are on fire as the Newcastle tried to go back, man. Slow down Michael Bothwell. When the ball's picked up there, Darius Defoe has to release and go back to Clifton Moore, but great job by Clifton Moore showing poise, taking the help, and finding a shooter.
Once again, they try and make the most of that mismatch between Green and Bothwell. This time the shot's got a little bit too much on it, and once again the ball is moving for the Gladiators, and that is the sweet spot. They've hit 3 triples from that right-hand 45 so far in this game, as McGill now goes to the rack and finishes at the rim for 2.
That's how Newcastle is at their best. All their points right now are coming out of either transition or late transition, excuse me. A high screen from Jordan Johnson, he's making plays. Ricky McGill kind of faked a little injury right there and leaked out to half court and got an easy layup.
Bothwell, Clifton Moore receives it on the free throw line again. This time Johnson's on the baseline, and he gets called for the pushing foul against Ricky McGill. And he had a good enough look at the bucket there, could have capitalized that, kept the pressure on.
Ricky McGill got a little lost there on the defensive side. Kyle Johnson slipped behind him. Another great job by Clifton Moore to find a cutter or a shooter for a shot. Just an unfortunate roll. Kyle Johnson couldn't finish the play off.
Well, the Caledonia Gladiators are a little short on their bench today. Oscar Baldwin checking in. No Carl Jimenez, no Farah Alahodzic, and as we know, there'll be no Ian DeBose supposedly until the end of the season. But nonetheless, they will battle on as Gladiators do. Here is McGill.
And if you're Newcastle right now with Oscar Baldwin in there and Clifton Moore out, you have to attack the rim. There's no shot blocker down there. You have to attack the rim and get downhill.
Oh, and that pass goes wanting. Can't quite connect with Del Pesh, and McGill pushing that one out of bounds as Caledonia ready to mount their next attack. Bothwell playing at the one, a staggered action here at the top of the three-point line. Handoff now to Johnson. Baldwin sets the screen. Bothwell in and out, driving onto the left, and that's a real patient offense from Caledonia.
Really patient offense. Great job on Michael Bothwell to stay patient in the ball screen, put his man in jail, as we say, and then snake into the paint and get back to his left hand where he's really, really good.
And another turnover for the Newcastle Eagles. First, Ricky McGill spills it, then Devin Whitfield can't quite get his hands on it.
Forcing turnovers, and what Caledonia's doing right now, because Oscar Baldwin is in, they're loading up in the paint even more so to give him a little support. They went to a show instead of a drop with Clifton Moore. You could do that because he's going to protect the rim. Newcastle has to recognize that swing, get to the weak side, and then attack a closeout.
It always makes it sound so easy when you're in the analyst booth, but on the court, it's, as you know, JT, it doesn't quite happen so smoothly.
It doesn't have to happen smoothly, but it has to happen at some point. You have to have a brain and, you know, use your IQ and think the game as Caledonia is right now. That's a beautiful pass from Oscar Baldwin.
Exceptional triple as well from Fraser Malcolm, knocking down the 7th triple of the game for the Gladiators. Inside, though, Del Pesh coming off the bench, stopping it in the rims with 2 hands. And Caledonia pushing the ball forward once more. Bothwell. Euro stepping, loses it but keeps it alive, tries to beat the buzzer, and at the end of the first quarter, 27 to 16, should I say, is the scores on the door. Caledonia looking the better side, but lots of action coming right on the other side of this break. Convenience is key, just like 7-Eleven. Caledonia Gladiators are 7-Eleven from behind the three-point line. It's like shopping for groceries.
Shopping for groceries, shopping for candy, whatever they want, they're getting it right now because they are hitting everything at 63% from 3, 8 assists, 9 field goals in the first quarter. They're having their way with this Newcastle defense. And if you're Coach Studel, you're going to have to find something because right now the short roll and the pass outs, Clifton Moore, Oscar Baldwin, everybody on Caledonia is doing their thing, sharing the ball, and they put on a clinic in that first quarter.
Well, let's get this second quarter underway here at Virtu Motors Arena where the Caledonia Gladiators are in the lead, 27-16. Let's see if the Eagles can gather themselves as Del Pesh gets another jam underneath the bucket.
That's exactly what you have to do. Great job by Ricky McGill maneuvering that pick and roll, getting in the paint, making Oscar Baldwin commit, finding Marcus Delpeche, who's been coming on late for them, looking a little bit like he did in Bristol last season, which will be a welcome sign for Coach Studel and the Eagles.
Well, Quade Green getting caught up in traffic there, a held ball, which will mean it's a Caledonia Gladiators possession. The possession arrow dictates what happened when both players have their hands on the ball at the same time. And next time that happens, it will be a Newcastle ball, or at the beginning of the next quarter, it will be a Newcastle ball as well. Here is Mike Bothwell, one-on-one with McGill. Josh Ward-Hibbert hesitant to help, but Bothwell right on time.
Tough shot by Michael Bothwell. As you said, right on time. The step back contested over Ricky McGill. He's not known for his jump shooting, but he can make that shot. And when you see everything go in the basket, that's what happens. It gets even bigger. The rhythm is there. Great job by Bothwell.
Delpeche isn't known for his jump shooting. That's why he's missed that one. Fraser Malcolm, handoff to Quade Green. Bothwell. Screen from Baldwin again here. Bothwell's going down, and the foul is called. Mike Bothwell, slowly and quietly, is having himself a ball game. He's got 5 points personal. He's come off the bench, and he's making the right decisions.
He's making the right decisions, and he's been playing really well, too, since he's got to Caledonia in his own right. Obviously not quite as well as Quade Green, but when he came in earlier this year, he found a home here. He gives a change of pace from Quade Green, bigger guard, great pace, great job working the ball screen right there.
Mike Bothwell is on the line, 8:52 remaining in the second, as he knocks down his first shot there this season. Mike Bothwell averaging 9.6 points per game, 3.4 assists as his 15th game in the British Basketball League Championship, arrived earlier than Quade Green, originally a two-guard, and the arrival of Quade Green since the injury of Inderboz had pushed him back into that position. But right now, you know, Caledonia have the ability to run him at the 1 and the 2.
I was just gonna say, you hit it right on the head. It kind of gives him that versatility. You can play Quade Green off the ball and Michael Bothwell on, or vice versa. As you see my guy right there, Josh Ward-Hibbert getting the and one. He's another X factor, a junkyard dog for Newcastle.
The former professional tennis player, Josh Ward-Hibbert from Derby. Going to the left hand here, Baldwin catches him at the net.
And Josh Ward-Hibbert is the guy who's going to turn around this game for Newcastle with his energy. Him and Taj Green and Marcus Delpeche. You know what you're getting from Jordan Johnson, Ricky McGill, but they're going to have to turn it around with their defensive effort, trying to, you know, hassle Michael Bothwell, get steals, get in passing lanes, and just bring all-out effort for Newcastle to kind of change their fortune right now.
Fraser Malcolm coming off the dribble, back out to Bothwell. Malcolm gets himself back in position. What a spin that is. I think he was a little surprised that he got past the defender, didn't quite get the footwork right, couldn't get the finish. Josh Ward-Hibbert steaming ahead again, onto the left hand. Another 2 points for him and closing the gap to single digits.
Newcastle finding the rhythm, a great defensive possession, a little risky and a little jumpy on the defensive side, but they ran Fraser Malcolm off not once but twice. And here it is, Josh Ward-Hibbert again, causing that moving screen, changing the fortune of the Eagles. But that's what they have to do. You have to be pesky. You have to make guys on Caledonia uncomfortable. In that first quarter, they didn't do that at all.
And here is a handoff here, Mike Bothwell. And then you can see the hip just extending out of Oscar Baldwin on that offensive foul. The Josh Ward-Hibbert second left-hand layup in a row for him. I mean, if he could stay healthy for a whole season, Josh Ward-Hibbert, it could cause some real problems and obviously help his team. Their levels of consistency. We spoke to Mark Stewart earlier on, and you would have heard from his press conference as well. That's what they're looking for. That man right there is one of the key factors in being consistent.
Yeah, I mean, he's a consummate teammate. He's a everybody loves Josh. I can attest to, obviously, having played with him with the Lions last year. But what makes him special on the court is his versatility. You know, he can guard 1 through 4. He can knock down threes. He'll roll to the basket. We played games with him at the 5 last year, so he just was willing to do whatever it takes to win, and he does it without complaining, without asking questions. He just puts his workman shoes on and goes to work.
I think a little sad to lose him this season. You know, would you have liked him to have been part of this journey that you guys are on this year?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I love Josh. He knows that. That's my guy. We spent a lot of time together last year. But that's the nature of basketball. No, it's going to be the same next year. Not everybody is gonna be around, unfortunately. Families break up in basketball, but it's always love no matter what. So I know he's cheering for us from Newcastle.
That's it. It's always like a family reunion when you get back together. That's what we like to see.
At the family reunion.
Yeah.
What you know about that?
Oh, well, I know about the song, but I didn't know that you could sing, JT.
We introduce him.
Okay.
I got little vocals
Hey,
now.
Drew Lasker, you got competition. We're going to have a sing-off between...
Drew can't sing like me. There ain't no competition, man. Drew can't sing like me. Yo, stop
He's
it.
thrown down.
I'm Luther Vandross out here, man. In the shower. Shower, see?
Listen, you're going to have to pay good money to me for me to sing, let me tell you. Well, the action is ready to get back underway here in Newcastle. Here is Jordan Johnson. As we find Josh Ward-Hibbert again, right on the 45, guarded by Kyle Johnson. Using the screen from Scott Spencer, and the foul is called here. It will be a blocking foul, as I thought, from Fraser Malcolm.
You see there, they put Josh Ward-Hibbert in the ball screen, even with Jordan Johnson on the floor again, just showing his versatility. He can space and shoot. He'll play the dunker aerial roll to the basket, and now playing the ball screen. I think that's a better idea if you're Coach Stu to, instead of trying to post up Fraser Malcolm, put him out on the perimeter, make him slide his feet, and then you can break him down with your quick guards and then find shooters, spray outs, things like that.
Well, Scott Spencer gets up that triple, it's no good, and Caledonia ring the changes. Clifton Moore Jr. into the game, Pat Whelan also.
You see the adjustment as well defensively from Newcastle. They've gone into an ice defense, which is keeping the ball handler on one side instead of allowing to come off to the middle of the floor.
Well, the offensive rebound allows Quade Green to get up the triple, and a nice little box out there to stop Kyle Johnson getting it, and Jordan Johnson gets the ball into play here. McGill pushing the ball forward. That was a quick bounce pass to Delpesh, but throws it off his foot and bailed out there by it coming off a Caledonia player. And Ricky McGill not looking, you know, his usual self.
Yeah, he's still trying to find his rhythm a little bit. Although I saw what he was trying to do, a great idea. I think, you know, as he's coming downhill, he had his man beat. Marcus Delpesh has to sprint to the rim and get to the dunker immediately. He was a step slow, and Ricky McGill tried to deliver it to him, hit his foot. So they just need to get on the same page, and that would have been a dunk.
Well,
for
one
Marcus
thing's for
Delpesh.
sure is Newcastle have slowed down the Gladiators now. They're not scoring at quite the same rate as they were. As Delpesh cocks one back and stops it with his right hand this time. He can get up there, big fella.
Marcus Delpesh can have a dunk contest himself. He said, Taj Green, anything you can do, I can do better. But a great pass from Jordan Johnson. And that's, again, what Newcastle has to do. Get to the paint, get paint touches. Excuse me, Malcolm Delpesh. And that's what Newcastle has to do.
Well, Clifton Moore Jr. gets it into the hands of Kyle Johnson, the lay-in for two. A response finally from Caledonia. You know what? This is going to turn into the Jordan Taylor musical at some point. I feel like it's coming, and I'm definitely trying to not get involved.
You paying for it?
No, listen, I'm quite happy to be a spectator. Here is Ricky McGill. Bounce pass, ball rotation, much better from Newcastle, the rotation, and a foul is called here against Clifton Moore Jr., not being able to move his feet quick enough.
And a great pass, pocket pass from Ricky McGill to Malcolm Delpesh. My apologies to him.
It's an easy mistake,
you know
to make.
I heard they look alike, you know, I heard they're brothers or something. So, so my apologies to him, but a great pass out of the pocket pass to him to Josh Ward-Hibbert, hitting Caledonia with a little taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, see, for me, I just call Delpesh, and he can't ever go wrong there. And here is McGill. He splits the defenders this time and onto the right hand. That's what we're used to seeing from Ricky McGill as he gets his points tally to 6 points personal. Here is Pat Whelan now, and Newcastle have settled into the game. 6 point difference.
That was a great read by Ricky McGill. He saw the show coming. Instead of using the screen, just sliced past his man. Caledonia's at their mercy right now. They're already in the penalty 4 minutes into the period as Quade Green. Newcastle always at his mercy.
McGill firing up a triple. Fight for the rebound. It bounces around like a pinball, but here's Johnson pushing it forward. Can he keep it alive? No, he can't. It's turned over. Jordan Johnson now. And Quade Green, that's a Not a very smart play there from Quade Green. Yes, foul to slow things down, but he didn't really want to cuddle Jordan Johnson. And he looks surprised, but he shouldn't be.
I think, you know, it's his first stint over in Europe. He played in Puerto Rico. He's played in the G League. So I wonder, you know, if he's just used to that being just a take foul, whereas in Europe, that's an automatic unsportsmanlike foul. So I just wonder maybe he didn't quite know the rule there and went for that wrap up.
Well, FIBA rule guideline says you've got to make a play for the ball. And on that occasion, he made a play for love. And now Jordan Johnson's on the line, the benefactor of the relationship. And his second free throw ready to go. Jordan Johnson yet to get himself going in this game. Those are his first 2 points and his first trip to the line. As we know, Jordan Johnson, one of the best in the league at getting to the free throw line, and they have a little chuckle about it now.
First 2 points, but he does have 3 assists. So for a guy like Jordan Johnson, getting himself going is finding teammates and rallying up that assist category. For any point guard, you know, if you're making plays, that's a way to get into rhythm. Doesn't just have to be scoring the ball.
Warren Hibbert gets the ball inside to Delpeche. To the right hand. Hey, listen, Malcolm Delpeche, and I've said this numerous times, both the Delpeches haven't had a great season, but in this game right now, Malcolm Delpeche has showed up.
Malcolm Delpeche showed up the last time these two teams played as well. And again, that is a great sign if you're Newcastle headed into the playoffs.
Beautiful bounce pass to Josh Ward Hibbert. He misses the mid-range jumper and the launch ahead. Clifton Moore Jr., Pat Whelan, you already know it's not quite the result I was hoping for there for the Caledonia Gladiators.
You wanted to go viral right there, didn't you?
It looked good. It looked good, and you can only assume when Pat Whelan shoots a triple, it's more than likely about to go in. Jordan Johnson is going to get another trip to the free throw line as the foul is called on Princeton Onwas. I believe that is his second personal foul. And we're going to have a quick break here. The score stands at 31-35. The Newcastle Eagles are back in the game. Malcolm Delpeche, that man right there, having himself a ball game above his average.
Above his average, and he's been above his average the last 4. He's averaging 9 points, 5 rebounds on 66% shooting over the last 4, up from 6 and 4 on 44% shooting on the season. And if you're Coach Studel, despite the struggles of late, that brings a big smile to your face because that takes a lot of pressure off of Darius Defoe and the team in general, gives you an athlete, a rim protector, and a finisher inside that they have not had as part of their game all season. So you are really pleased if you're Coach Studel.
Well, Caledonia led by 13 points in this game. It's been clawed right back down to 2, but Quade Green opened up that gap once again. Jordan Johnson sprinting up the floor. Here's Ward Hibbert. Bounce pass now. Del Pesh driving into contact. Foul call on the floor here, and it's another 2 shots. Malcolm Del Pesh will go to the line.
Newcastle came down a couple times. The referee doesn't quite realize they're in the bonus just yet, but Malcolm Del Pesh will go to the line. Newcastle came down a couple times and shot jumpers. Ricky McGill shot a transition 3. I think it was Josh Ward-Hibbert maybe shot a mid-range off of a bounce pass, and now they're back to going to the rim. And for the next 4 minutes, you have to put all the pressure you can on Caledonia, because anytime these dudes hit you, you're going to the free throw line.
Wow. There we go. The big heads in the crowd of the players. And I think that was a bit disrespectful to have the trash can in front of Ricky McGill. He ain't playing that bad, but I'm sure he was just there to ensure the environmental safety of the venue. Here's Patrick Whelan. Lucas Paliza now for 3. Misses that one, and it's got a little bit cold from behind the perimeter for Caledonia in this second quarter. Larry Austin Jr. drive into the rack. The ball doesn't fall. Another 2 shots on the line.
Take it to the rim, take it to the rim, take it to the rim, get to the line. That's what Newcastle does best. They're second in the league in free throws made, first in the league in free throws attempted. The first time these two teams played, they only shot 6 free throws in the first half, and they were down 13 or 14 points, I believe. So they're kind of reversing that, and right now they're attacking. They're putting on the attack, and that's changed their fortune on the defensive end. Only 10 points here in the second quarter, taking the legs away from Caledonia, being a bit more aggressive, as Larry Austin misses his first, only 66% from the line.
Well, that's the first missed free throw for the Newcastle Eagles on the evening, on their 10th attempt. And on their 11th, he'll make the second.
I saw what you did to Ricky McGill. I don't like what you just did. You said Ricky McGill, no, he's not synonymous with trash.
Yeah,
that's it. He's a.
I say what I see. I saw a trash can in front of his head.
Don't play my man like that.
I came up with some sort of commentator's witty line as Lucas Paliza misses another triple. Whelan. Guarded by Larry Austin Jr. Tries to get a quick steal. Snaking the action there. Pat Whelan goes towards the bucket. What? Don't bring it up again. I'm not saying anything. He sees me. He sees right into my soul there, Ricky McGill. Sideline possession. Producer thinks they funny.
Caledonia getting the same shots they got in the first quarter, not quite going down this time. Rotations are better from Newcastle, more energy. As you see a bigger guard now on Quade Green, don't matter. go right to the cup.
Tough take there from Quade Green. He's just about kept Caledonia in this game. Check this out. Bye-bye, Larry Austin Jr. Onto the right hand, through the foul. A little arm in the back there. Excellence from Quade Green.
He smacked the padding on the basket there and got a warning from the ref. That's another FIBA rule. You're not allowed to do that. He's getting a little education in FIBA rules, but he's given an education right now on the court. We talked about his pedigree. He's a top 25, ESPN prospect, a 5-star, the only one in our league besides Sam Decker. And for the UK crowd, what that means is that he had pretty much any school he wanted to go to college. Top 25 guys are typically guys like Blake Griffin, James Harden, LeBron James. That caliber of talent he was considered coming out of high school, and we're getting a glimpse as to why.
Well, you know, I want to talk about then, if someone of that level of prestige and that level of accolade is now found himself in the British Basketball League. I mean, Sam Decker's been to the NBA, he's done that, etc. Quade Green is at the very early stages of his professional career. Why isn't he at the level like players that you've mentioned that are 5-star recruits?
I mean, there's a couple reasons. I don't know exactly. I don't know his entire story. I actually want to get to know more about his story, but one, he's 6'1". So anytime you're 6'1", it's just more difficult to get to that level, even when you are regarded as such. And then he went to Kentucky. When you go to a Kentucky and you play with guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Knox, Amadou Diallo, Tyler Harrell, Keldon Johnson, Jared Vanderbilt, sometimes you could just get lost in the shuffle as well. He played 25 minutes as a freshman, down to 9 minutes as a sophomore, and then transferred to a Washington team that didn't quite perform as well. So, you know, it's just a tough thing when you're really that good and you choose to go to a Kentucky-type school where everybody else is that good, then it's difficult to still stand out.
Thoughts and analysis of Jordan Taylor, the London Lions captain, as Lucas Paliza guarded by Larry Austin Jr. Whelan now. Looking inside and picked away. Larry Austin Jr. driving to the right hand, and he misses the layup once again. Will go to the free throw line. And Newcastle have really been punishing Caledonia for their mistakes. And they're getting to the free throw line once again with a chance to tie the game up. Larry Austin Jr. losing his control, losing his balance. 2:43 remaining. What's the difference here now for Caledonia? Offensively, it just doesn't look like they're able to get the same opportunities as they had in the first.
Well, Coach Stu did a great job at adjusting early in the quarter, going to an ice defense, which is keeping the ball handler towards the sideline, keeping him on one side, not allowing him to come towards the middle of the floor to use the pick and roll, which is taking away the pocket pass for most of the game. And there you saw it, they iced him. When you're in the ice as a defender, it shrinks the court. It makes it harder to see the opposite side. You can be more aggressive. So when you throw that pocket pass, you can load up from the backside, as Larry Austin just did there, and got a steal.
Well, let's try and get a listen in here to Coach Gareth Murray's timeout. Well, he's looking for the deep seal. Okay, we heard that over the buzzer, over the announcer, over the crowd. Well, I have to agree that maybe they haven't had as many inside looks for guys like Clifton Moore Jr. in this game at the moment. Everything's outside unless it's Quade Green trying to find a way to the rack.
Yeah, and this is where the chess match comes into play. Everything was working in the first quarter, so why go throw it inside when you're getting everything you want? Clifton Moore was finding guys, Patrick Whelan was finding guys, but now that the game has slowed down a little bit, honestly, because of the free throws in Newcastle, you can throw the ball inside, get guys moving again, get into the staggers that they do so well, the double staggers, and so it doesn't allow Newcastle to ice the ball screen, allows you to come off, move bodies, move the ball, and then off the roll, you could potentially find Clifton Moore in a deep seal, which a deep seal, for those that watch Gabe Olaseni, he's a master at it. Just put your guy under the rim and go finish.
Well, British Basketball League fans adjusting to what to do when the camera is in front of you. And in other leagues, you might see some crazy celebrations, some representation, but we're getting used to it, slowly but surely. Great to see the fans at the game. At the Virtu Motors Arena, which is always a busy venue. Great atmosphere there as Clifton Moore Jr. now hands it off. The screen comes, looking inside, Clifton Moore Jr. And a blocking foul there called against Taj Green. Mark Jutel's not happy with it. One thing I noticed there, I know the foul was called before it, Larry Austin Jr. does a great job off the ball when there's a roll to the basket or an attack to the rim. He's waiting off ball to come and pick that pass away or pick that dribble away.
And that's what we talked about. What allows you to do when you ice your defender, Darius Defoe can get a little higher on the screen. There's no corner right there, so that's what we call an empty corner. It allows three guys from Newcastle to load up towards the ball, and you can get more aggressive like Larry Austin did and go for the steal.
Patrick Whelan stops the bleeding from behind the perimeter for the Gladiators. He knocks down another triple.
And if you're Caledonia, I think that's what you have to get back into. You have to go back to those staggers, make Newcastle chase screens, make them run through bodies before you run a ball screen and get something open for your shooters like they did there.
Well, here is Taj Green, Darius Defoe. Nice pump fake there, and that's knocked away, or in fact slipped out of Darius Defoe's hand. He had the defender on the pump fake on the elbow. We know Darius Defoe can make that mid-range shot.
He's got to let that fly. That's his shot, as you said. There was no space to redrive that. Taj Green had brought 2-3 defenders. He's got to let that fly from the elbow. That's a good shot. It's a high percentage shot.
You never know. He was made for the pump fake, keep it alive, one dribble, power slam, maybe.
What I do know is when you get older, you're better off staying out that paint. Not down there. If you get an open jumper, let it fly, baby. Let it fly.
Well, Pat Whelan letting it fly to try and beat the buzzer, but straight into the hands of Taj Green as it hits the backboard. Austin Jr. back off to McGill. The lane opens up for him in the middle, and once again going to the bucket. Paliza hands up, quite asking for a foul. Why is it a foul? And your thoughts on that play there, Jordan Taylor?
Yeah, a great attack, initial attack by Larry Austin. Kicks it to Ricky McGill. Michael Bothwell doesn't need to go for the steal, takes himself out of position, and then a definite foul. I don't know why there's even a question there.
But just explain to the viewers, because it might not seem quite obvious. All he's done there is turn around and face the basket, but he is getting in front of Ricky McGill, stopping him from taking the lane.
Well, he got in front of Ricky McGill. Ricky McGill's going towards the basket. That's where his momentum is, and Lucas Paliza is not in a legal guarding position. One, he turned sideways, he took out his leg, did anything else in the book that you can imagine. If he gets there and was planted and stands there and gets knocked over, takes it right to the chest and gets knocked over, then you could potentially have a charge, but that is not quite what happened there.
Well, McGill helping Newcastle Eagles chase down the Gladiators from the free throw line. That's their 16th and 17th trip to the free throw line in the half. As Bothwell's back into the game. Fraser Malcolm pops out, left-hand side of the floor. Defoe is making it a nightmare for Clifton Moore Jr. to receive the ball today. Kyle Johnson has to pull up once again, taken right down to the buzzer, but a foul is called as Johnson goes down. And we need to have a look back at that play to see if there was any contact.
Looked to me like a little bit of a vet play by Kyle Johnson. He flailed before he got touched. Oh, he got him. Yeah, he got him. Definitely got him.
Well, that's landing space, essentially.
Yeah. Yep.
Devin Whitfield landed in the space that Kyle Johnson had already claimed for his jump shot. So the 2 free throws will come now for Caledonia, and Taj Green getting ready to get himself back into the game as Johnson misses the first free throw. You can also see that contingency of Caledonia Gladiator fans just to the right of their team bench. Looking a little subdued at this moment as Johnson misses the second two. There they are. This is one of the shortest journeys for them this season on the road.
And what are they holding in their hand? Is that a British thing? What was that?
A vuvuzela.
A vuvu what?
You don't know about the vuvuzela? You don't know about the South African World Cup? That's when that's when the world learned about the inception of the vuvuzela. It's the horn. You got ones that make all kinds of different noises. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know nothing about that, but you learn something new every day, I guess.
That's right. And Clifton Moore Jr. locking down the long two. Vital points for the Gladiators going into the halftime break. His 4th point of the game. 3 rebounds, 3 assists for him as well. Clifton Moore being kept quiet so far in this first half. The head tap call here as Jordan Johnson gets into the paint, trying to look for contact, doesn't come, misses the layup. Bothwell to beat the buzzer, and that's off the back of the iron. Well, it's 41-45, Jordan Taylor, and it's been an interesting first half.
Been a really interesting first half, a tale of 2 quarters. Caledonia was all them executing early in the game. Second quarter, Newcastle did a great job being aggressive on defense, led by Josh Ward-Hibbert, and then Darius Defoe later in the quarter being aggressive in those ball screens.
Well, we're going to head to a break. We've got some more analysis coming up for you right after this. Well, it's half-time in the British Basketball League Championship matchup between the Eagles and the Gladiators, 41-45 the score. My name's Ty Hadjat alongside Jordan Taylor taking you through this one. A really scrappy and sloppy first quarter of basketball. Things settled down and we're starting to see a better side of the Newcastle Eagles.
Yeah, Newcastle 6 turnovers in the first quarter. Caledonia made them pay 11 points from turnovers in the half. They were 7 of 11 from threes in the first quarter. Caledonia, that is, including 3 wide open threes early off of those turnovers. Second quarter, Newcastle picked up the defensive intensity. Josh Ward-Hibbert was picking up the ball. Darius Defoe was active in the ball screens, led to some fast break opportunities, which allowed them to get to the line, and a great adjustment by Coach Studel in choosing to go to an ice defense instead of a regular pick-and-roll defense.
Well, don't let the whole ammunition clip go. Let's take a look at the stats for you right now, and let's take a look at the numbers that define the score between these two teams. I mean, you mentioned those 6 steals, only 2 points from turnovers so far in this game, and I think that was because of the first quarter. A lot of mislayups in transition, but the fast break points now coming to fruition in the second.
Yeah, definitely, and I think, you know, I don't know if we're counting free throws towards those fast break points, but that would definitely contribute to that. Caledonia, 8 of 18, as we mentioned, 7 of 11 to start the game, 1 of 7 in that second quarter. They had 8 assists on 9 field goals in the first quarter, only 2 assists after that. So again, Newcastle's defense story in the second quarter wasn't in the first quarter. Caledonia has to find a way to continue to manufacture good shots.
Well, let's take a look at the story of the half then. As we mentioned, early doors, Caledonia Gladiators feeling it from behind the perimeter, whilst Newcastle Eagles were struggling to score, but Ricky McGill was finding a way. He's got 10 points personal so far in this one, JT.
Yeah, Ricky McGill, when he gets downhill, gets into the lane, good things happen for Newcastle as well as Jordan Johnson. As you see, Quade Green, this is the first quarter, clearly he's getting off the pick and roll, great decisions, and then a great pass by Clifton Moore. Lucas Poliz is making shots, everything going Caledonia's way. As you see Darius Defoe getting into the action as well. This is when it started to turn for Newcastle, when they started doing things like this, changing the aggression.
Well, also the substitution of Malcolm Delpeche coming into the game. You mentioned that Taj Green wasn't necessarily getting back on defense in transition as much as they'd like, but Delpeche came in and started rejuvenating the offensive side of things for the Eagles as well.
Yeah, Malcolm Delpeche, as you see him high in the screen there, forcing passes, great job by Caledonia. But again, his energy as well as Josh Ward-Hibbert, he's finishing everything around the rim. He's rolling to where he's supposed to be, and that's an underrated skill for a big, to space the floor and get into the paint and be where you're supposed to be. As you see the dunk there, that allows the guards to get space and do what they do. When the big doesn't space correctly, it creates a lot of problems for guards. You see the tough move right there, but guards get frustrated because that's where turnovers happen.
Well, what do Caledonia need to do now in this second half? They need to get back to some of this action right here.
Some of the stagger action, get ball and body movement. Don't just fall in love with that ball screen because the ice defense was giving them a little problems, but also be still getting that pocket and do that. Just be aware of what's going on the backside from Newcastle.
Well, no matter what happens, it's going to be an exciting half of basketball. But now, for you, it's your chance to keep up to date with all the latest information in the league. A little bit later on, you're going to be seeing the top 10 plays from last week. But before that, let's take a look at the double overtime game between the Leicester Riders and the Plymouth City Patriots.
Cross court to Bowman. Lowell in the corner, driving it hard, drops it off to Shelton, who pops it in for 2. Bowman spinning under pressure, has it taken away. Copeland pushing, has a lane to the basket. Copeland with the punch down. Copeland, see what his mid-range game is like. Pretty good. Nice pass. Atwood inside for the layup. Out to Lowell, it's stolen away by Dusha, and Dusha will run it back and lay it in, and Plymouth have their biggest lead of the game. Atwood with a tough one. Wow, what a shot that is. Nice pass, and Adowu's able to lay it in. Green this time to the rim, and he might get 3 the old-fashioned way. Green, oh man, what a shot. Shelton kicks it out, Lowell for 3, got it, and suddenly it's a 3-point game. Adowu space for 3, knocks it down again. Samuel Adowu with another triple. McKenzie to level the game. Oh, we're tied at 92. 2. Leicester have seconds to win it. Lol to the basket, drops it off, and we are going to overtime. Wiley misses. Levi is there to tip it home. 100 on the board now for the Patriots. McKenzie out to Lowell again. He's tied the game at 100. McKenzie drives, trying to create some room, gets the shot away, misses. We're going to double overtime. Dusha for 3, big shot, got it. LVZ Dusha with the triple. Lowell inside to Adowu, who jams it down.
That's a great pass.
Well, they probably could have gone to the basket, but they were worried about the clock, I think. Oh, Lowell for 3. Oh, TJ Lowell with possibly the dagger there. Somehow, some way, they wouldn't be denied. The Leicester Riders have beaten the Plymouth City Patriots. TJ Lowell leading the way. An unbelievable game, Antro.
It really was, and we have been gifted a treat this Sunday afternoon.
Quade Green, that's going to be a tall order. Step across, gets the shot up and gets it to fall. Come on.
How does he do that?
That's a straight up Philly move right there.
Defense in his face.
Rock gets all the way to the basket and finger rolls it in. And oh, stolen away, and Pipkins jams it down. Sheffield's lead is in double figures. Well, suddenly it's out to 13, and a timeout is to be called by the Newcastle Eagles.
Johnson, deep 3, good if it goes. Oh, he drains it as the third quarter expires. And Newcastle Eagles leading this one.
Lowell inside to Adowu, who jams it down.
That's a great pass, a great seal from Adowu. You see him do his work early.
Bowman spinning under pressure, has it taken away. Copeland pushing, has a lane to the basket. Copeland with the punch down.
Goodness me, straight down the middle. Copeland had one destination, and that was to the rim.
Oh, David off, trailing the play, big fella. Love David off there, find him in transition, finishing above the rim.
Steele skips it up, and there we go. Padil Wang says, hello, let's get this game started.
Well, they probably could have gone to the basket, but they were worried about the clock, I think. Oh, Lowell for 3. Oh, TJ Lowell with possibly the dagger there. An unbelievable shot. He's up to 36.
One playoff spot remains, and Bristol Flyers currently leaving the door open to Manchester. Oh, what a block!
Huge defensive effort here from Aaron Wright.
Whelan leaves it. Oh my goodness sakes, CMJ.
Moore Jr. just looks him dead in the eyes as he skips backwards.
That was tasty.
Welcome to our viewers here in the UK and in the US of A, where it's 41-45, the score at the half between the Caledonia Gladiators and the Newcastle Eagles. The Gladiators in the league on the road. And this game now should be an exciting second half for you all to enjoy. I'm alongside Jordan Taylor as the starting fives are making their way onto this court for the second half of basketball. Now, we spoke about it at the halftime break. Caledonia looking to try and find their rhythm once again. But for the Newcastle Eagles, if they want to continue and push and get themselves back into the lead, they need to keep getting to the line. They're 0 for 3 from behind the arc.
Yeah, they got to keep attacking the paint, putting pressure on the Caledonia defense. Now that they've kind of softened the defense up by attacking, look for them to get in the paint and spray out in a couple of those threes to go down. Although they do like threes off the dribble as well, so maybe a drop from Caledonia and shooting off a ball screen as well.
Well, here we go. Ricky McGill slowly getting himself into the game, 10 points personal. Jordan Johnson hasn't had the biggest of his scoring nights, but he's been assisting and finding his teammates throughout and getting to the free throw line as well. As we see Defoe going one-on-one here with Clifton Moore, and Clifton Moore getting the better of him this time.
I don't love that matchup there for Newcastle. Clifton Moore is really long, really tough to score over. Darius Defoe on the block, although he won that matchup earlier in the game, but I think Defoe has to do a better job of using his size rather than trying to go over the top.
Onwas. Clifton Moore. Foul is called.
See both coaches early trying to establish the bigs, trying to establish that physicality and that aggression.
Clifton Moore Jr. actually goes to the line. For the first time in this game, he's only got 4 points himself. Hasn't had many opportunities to be in and around the rim this evening. He's had a long 2-point shot. And he's being thwarted at this moment in time.
He's got three rebounds, 3 assists, and a lot of stuff that was working for Caledonia was playing through him in the pick and roll, and he was doing a great job at passing out of that, finding shooters. Caledonia was getting some extra pass and attack, so he had a couple of hockey assists that don't go on the stat sheet as well. So his stat line doesn't quite show up his impact on the game so far.
Ricky McGill attacking the baseline, getting it to go off the glass. Here is Quade Green.
Great job by Jordan Johnson getting in the paint, finding Ricky McGill. Ricky McGill can shoot the ball. You got to close out to him. He's 36% from 3. He attacks the closeout and gets to the paint.
Onwas, his first 2 points of the game, little backboard tap.
Princeton Onwas is capable of that. He can knock down threes. He's big, he's physical. Doesn't really get a lot of chances to score on this team because they have other options, but he's capable of that.
Darius Defoe there, using his body well, getting it to go for 2.
Complete opposite start from both sides. Both teams have gone into the locker room and come out in rhythm and looking sharp. A lot of offense, not much defense yet, as you see a good stop there. Great job again. They went to the ice defense again. Darius Defoe did a great job, caused hesitation for Patrick Whelan. They loaded up the backside. And ice defense is when you do not allow the ball handler to come to the middle of the floor. You keep him on the sideline, keep him over there, and it allows your big man to kind of stay in position. He doesn't have to move. It allows your weak side defense, which are the 2 or 3 players on the backside, to load up all the way over to the ball. It makes it easier for the defense to create a crowd and harder for the offensive player to see and make a play.
Well, here is Defoe, the handoff now to Jordan Johnson. It's stolen away, Patrick Whelan in the foot race between him and Josh Ward-Hibbert. Takes out the board and decides to sit courtside for a moment.
Josh likes his rest, man. He's not, he works hard, it's a hard worker, but when it's time to rest, he goes sit down.
Headline possession here. On the baseline, Princeton Onwas. Moore Jr. pops out, Whelan pops out, the screen comes now for Onwas. Beliza gets his mid-range shot up. Josh Ward-Hibbert tips it to Green.
It's the action we talked about, a little pin down into a pin out shot for Lucas Beliza.
Oh, Josh Ward-Hibbert collects the ball after the block from Clifton Moore and just about slips through the defense there to avoid the charging foul and throws it up to get to the line for 2 shots.
Not a good foul there by Princeton Onwas. If that's Ricky McGill or Jordan Johnson, you see Clifton Moore getting the block. He had 4 the last time these two teams matched up. Josh Ward-Hibbert might have got away with the foul there. With the foul of Lucas Paliza. Yeah. But Princeton Onwas, so if that's Josh Ward-Hibbert, you want to get in front of him. You got Quade Green trailing for the steal. Don't commit that foul. Make him finish over. You have a big body, not quite as fast as those other guys. Bail J-Dub out a little bit there.
Well, I believe that's the 3rd personal foul now for Princeton Onwas. And he, alongside Lucas Paliza, the only 2 players with 3 fouls in the game.
Josh Ward-Hibbert getting the offensive rebound. That's what he does. He's not going to give up on a play. Bad execution from Caledonia. Can't allow that to happen.
Johnson, step back triple now. Clifton Moore Jr. closing out, and a rebound for the Caledonia Gladiators. Long pass ahead to Green. It's just a little too high, and Jordan Johnson using his leverage there to not allow Clifton Moore Jr. to get to his spot.
Quade Green a little high on the pass. Only 1 assist for him in this game. Again, he has a couple of hockey assists as well coming off the ball screen. They did a great job at sharing the ball. They got to look to get him involved in ball screens, especially with Darius Defoe out here. Try and get him in the middle of the floor and attack Darius Defoe as he misses the jumper there.
Well, here is Quade Green. Josh Ward-Hibbert tight on his hip. Put in pressure on the ball handler.
There it is.
There is that ball screen. And nice hands there, Darius Defoe. We were talking about mismatch, sorry. No, thank you, sir. In fact, I probably twisted my ankle doing that.
that took a lot out of the big fella, but excuse me, Darius Defoe, I wasn't familiar with your hands. He gets in the pocket to Quade Green. Great job by the vet. Looked like it hurt a little bit, but he'll be all right.
And now here is Clifton Moore Jr. back to basket. And once again, the great hands from Defoe. And the Newcastle Eagles fans thinks the ball should be going in their favor, but it's a Gladiators possession.
Darius Defoe doing what leaders do, setting the tone defensively, even at his big age. 38 years old, standing up on defense against Quade Green and then Clifton Moore. A great adjustment there by Caledonia to go to that middle ball screen, though, even though Defoe did stand up as Ricky McGill gets in the paint, does what he does, a nice touch off the glass.
I was going to say that. Great use of the backboard on that play there. Makes it more comfortable to shoot the ball. Fundamentals.
Gives you more room for errors. You see this middle ball screen again. Good adjustment. Quade Green, he's going to win that one. Tough finish there. When you put the ball screen in the middle like Caledonia does, it doesn't allow you to ice because you have both sides of the floor to go to. There's a three-pointer we talked about.
Yeah, they've not had one this game yet, the Newcastle Eagles. That's the first one. And the timeout has been called by the Caledonia Gladiators. 5:58 on the clock in the third quarter. Newcastle Eagles have tied this ball game up again. And I want to just touch upon the pace, Jordan Taylor. That bucket went in from Quade Green, and next thing you know, Jordan Johnson's on your, opposing three-point line. Lightning.
We say he's on your heels. Both these dudes be on your heels at all time. They put pressure on you. And Jordan Johnson, we talked about, because they were so downhill in the second quarter, when they get the ball, get it out, he puts pressure on you, and you have to back up, and now that's what he does. He gets that three off the dribble.
Well, we've got a little bit of head-to-head statistical knowledge for you between Ricky McGill and Green here. 14 points apiece. Not much separating them apart from minutes right now.
Not much separating them at all in only 5 minutes. Ricky McGill's been downhill, has Quade Green. Both of those two guys leading their teams. We talked about them at the top of the broadcast. Ricky McGill finding his form again after a couple down games, maybe 5 games where he wasn't quite himself. So welcome sight for Newcastle, and Quade Green has continued his dominance scoring the basketball in the British Basketball League. Let's not forget about Jordan Johnson. He just threw in his first bucket. He's only 1 of 5, 7 points, but he's one of those guys. When he sees one go in, excuse me, we might see 2, 3, 4 after that. 5 assists to go along with it.
Getting the job done. The Newcastle Eagles now looking for another stop and a chance to take the lead. Yet to lead in this game. will be a great start to the half if they can get themselves in that position. Here's Green. Clifton Moore Jr. just trying to get an early screen in on Josh Ward-Hibbert to create space for Green to operate. And Newcastle Eagles are touch tight defensively, not allowing much room off the ball either, as Green gets up a big triple. That's a nice play from Green.
Great set, great set. Coming out of the timeout from Coach Murray, get a little Iverson cut from Patrick Whelan. They were icing the screen, as we mentioned. When they're icing the screen, Defoe had to react, and then a little snapback screen for Quade Green. No one there to help Josh Ward-Hibbert, as a miss by Newcastle there on the 3.
Quade weaving his way. Again, this is it. Quade Green is just turning up the heat a little, turning it up a notch.
That's tough. That is tough. That inside-out screen is great D. Jordan Johnson staying with it. Little fella gets the foul. Referee from half court.
Well, Clifton Moore Jr. will be called for his second personal foul. Let's take a look at this one then. The in and out hesitation sends Josh Ward-Hibbert, then creates the separation between Defoe, and then just connects.
Tough move by Quade Green.
Well, we're going to take a quick break right now. Make sure you don't miss the Quade Green show. It's just starting. Quade Green, 19 points personal, 7 for 12 from the field. Having to work hard for his buckets, but he's got that little bit of magic to make it happen. Jordan Johnson's found himself on the free throw line after the foul from Clifton Moore Jr., his second personal foul. As Jordan Johnson once again trying to lead the Newcastle Eagles from the free throw line, as he knocks down both of those. 6 of 6 from the free throw line. The Newcastle Eagles are 18 for 21 from the free throw line overall in this game. Here is Quade Green. Now moves the ball into the hands of Whelan into the corner. Fraser Malcolm along the baseline, skipping it out, not where Paliza wants it to catch and shoot. Clifton Moore Jr. to the left hand, and finally had himself a one-on-one opportunity in the paint. Taj Green does enough. He's now on the opposite side of the floor. Ball rotation, Darius Defoe misses the mid-range into the hands of Whelan.
Caledonia gets a break there. Whelan wanted a foul. He was complaining about a foul coming down the court and almost gave up a transition basket. There you go again, Caledonia having trouble with that ice defense. Put the ball in the middle of the floor where you're having some success. That turnover, Jordan Johnson gets in the paint. Fine, sticky, tricky. Ricky, which one is it, man? You tell me.
It's Slick Rick right now. He's got 17 points personal. And we had the head-to-head, and there were 14 points apiece. Quade Green and Ricky McGill, and now Quade Green's got himself out to 19. I think Ricky McGill wants to get himself to that tally too. Here is Quade Green. One-on-one with Defoe. The crossover is too tough And the time runs out. Got to recognize the shot clock.
Definitely got to recognize the shot clock there. Honestly, that seemed quick to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm falling asleep at the wheel, but that felt a little quick. But you got to get into your offense a little bit sooner. That's what you want. Great switch by Darius Defoe. Wherewithal to know the shot clock's winding down. Switch high. Don't allow Quade Green to come off and shoot that. Make him go to the basket because he was strapped for time. Excuse me.
Well, here is Jordan Johnson. Tied ball game once again. Pulling up for three, Jordan Johnson off the iron. Newcastle still yet to lead in this game, but for the past 2 quarters, they've been right on the heels.
Caledonia. There you go.
Clifton Moore Jr. taking his frustration out on the rims.
Yeah, and I think he was frustrated because he was open 3 different times on that possession, and third time was the charm. But great job by Caledonia to get the ball moving around the horn and attacking the closeout.
While Kyle Johnson gets a piece of it, Larry Austin Jr. wants some more, but no good. Patrick Whelan pushing away, all the way to Quade Green, and the foul will be called. 2 shots to come. And I think Quade Green will be thinking about how late that call was.
Yeah, that was a definite foul call. I thought Josh Ward-Hibbert was going to get away with one there, but you know, maybe a choice by the ref to kind of see how the play was going to play out. Definitely got him on the arm or the head, shoulder, whatever it was there.
Here's the ball rotation, the chance for Clifton Moore to stuff the rims in Newcastle, throwing it down 2 hands. Kaboom!
There's that pick and roll. Instead of hitting the short roll, Clifton Moore does a deep dive to the front of the rim. Caledonia swings it around the horn and attacks a closeout with Quade Green on the backside. Finds Clifton Moore wide open as Newcastle couldn't rotate. Easy 2 points.
Quade Green. 2:55 remaining in the third. Chance to take his tally to 21. He's already made 3 of his previous free throws, 4 including the last one, and misses the 5th. Curse of the commentator. And here is Jordan Johnson. Screen from Josh Ward-Hibbert. Johnson now finding Del Pesh, who's back into the game and back on the scoreboard again.
Malcolm Del Pesh, his 12th point, just 9 minutes. Pistol action there from Newcastle. Great job by Josh Ward-Hibbert to set the step-up screen on the sideline. Great roll by Malcolm Del Pesh. Great pass by Jordan Johnson.
Well, here's Kyle Johnson. Now with Quade Green. Double tap, keeping it alive, handed it on. Clifton Moore Jr. tries to beat the buzzer again, no luck. Pat Whelan does enough. A matter of who wanted it more there. Whelan wanted it more, and now the foul is called. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Mark Stutel saying it's a coming together.
That's a tough call there, I think. Let's see who they got there for the whistle, but that looked to be clean. Ricky McGill could have just grabbed this ball here. He just decided to try and tap it out.
Yeah, Larry Austin Jr. Actually, Whelan got a hand to it. They've called the foul on Del Pesh, who was he's moving in the forward direction as he slowly turns his back, but bumps straight into Whelan. He's not going upwards and straight, so it is a foul, and it is 2 shots to come.
Similar to that call Lucas Paliza got called for in the first half on Ricky McGill.
Whelan, as we know, is a dead set scorer. This man right here, you can trust him on the free throw line. Shooting over 85% this season.
Quade Green is a welcome sight for a guy like Patrick Whelan, who's averaging 15 points on the year. As you jinxed again, you might just have to keep quiet.
I'm going to not say anything about anyone's free throws.
But Patrick Whelan, I know, is loving playing with Quade Green. Takes a lot of pressure off of him as a shooter, as a 2-guard. Allows him to be more of just a traditional 2, a shooter. See Jordan Johnson drawing another foul.
Wow. That blocking foul, I believe, might have been called on Clifton Moore Jr., which will take him to 3 personals. And that will be the 3rd player for the Caledonia Gladiators on 3 fouls. So nothing to worry about as yet, but they do need to tread carefully. Picking up a 4th would be a problem. Del Pesh, Whitfield. Ball rotation is nice here from the Newcastle Eagles. Jordan Johnson skipping to the bucket and the right-hand finger roll.
Skip through that lane. Beautiful pass. A little Spanish action right there. Spanish action, or stack action as we like to call it, is a ball screen into a back screen. Screen the screener, and Malcolm Del Pesh. Great hands, great cut by Devin Whitfield. Great offense.
Bothwell driving. 2 shots to come now for the Caledonia Gladiators. Beautiful pass there from Johnson, and the ball kept moving. The defense kept rotating. And a beautiful play there from Jordan Johnson. Skip to my loop.
Skip through that lane. That's how we say it.
Filet. Yeah, we know about filet.
No. Skip through that lane. That's how you say it.
I'm not gonna do that.
You ain't gonna do that?
I'm not gonna do that, JT. I use the bars. I don't use harmonics.
I'm just trying to inspire, man.
I was always a rapper, man. I was never good with the vocals.
I can see you spit a little something, man. You gonna do something for us on the mic right now?
Nah, definitely not. Not trying to lose my job, JT. explicit bars. However, if you ever want to see it, I did a top 10. Gino Crandall had his top 10 plays. I think I did it with D's Reels. If you ever want to hear some bars, you can go and listen back to that. There are a few other unhidden gems on YouTube, but I won't say nothing about that.
I'm gonna have to ask Gino, man. Shout out to Gino Crandall, British Basketball League MVP and Minneapolis native. He grew up watching me. That's a little bro. So shout out to Gino, man. He's had a great career overseas.
Well, foul called again here. This time it's a sideline ball. Jordan Johnson ready to inbound for the Newcastle Eagles. 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining. Is this the play that finally Newcastle take the lead? Here is Larry Austin Jr. The Gladiators defending their keep. As Johnson fires up the 3, and there it is, finally breaking the deadlock for the Newcastle Eagles. They've been knocking on the door all night long, and finally, success. Jordan Johnson, big triple.
Jordan Johnson heating up in this third quarter. That's what Caledonia did not want to see. Ricky McGill is going. A turnover there. Baldwin can't quite hang on. A great pass there. They got lucky earlier in the quarter. Quade Green went under on Jordan Johnson. That time, 2 guys flying at him. Doesn't matter. He's small, but it doesn't matter. He can't see y'all. Knocks down the 3. Great pass there. Ooh.
And a foul is called now as Malcolm Del Pesh will head to the free throw line. I saw that rhyme there, JT. Don't think it didn't go unnoticed. I see now.
Hey, like I said, you inspire me, man. I'm trying to inspire you. You inspire me. You know? Malcolm Del Pesh with a great roll, great pass. Almost got the and 1 out of that. He's played an outstanding game tonight. And going back to that stack action where Jordan Johnson got the Euro step through the lane, Malcolm Del Pesh did a great job at it was an errant pass from Jordan Johnson, did a great job at kind of saving it from going out of bounds and keeping that play alive. His activity is what helped Newcastle get back in the game. And again, if he can keep this up and stay consistent, Newcastle is going to be a tough out come playoff time.
Well, Del Pesh, second free throw is good. 3-point lead now for the Newcastle Eagles. Mike Bothwell, guarded by Whitfield. There's always been pressure on the ball handler in this game. 3-quarter court without fail. And now, Onwas. Oh, and they've lost it here. The Gladiators have turned the ball over again. And I think, you know, Coach Gareth Murray's just trying to give his players some rest going into the 4th and final quarter. Oscar Baldwin checking into the game. A little bit rusty, hasn't seen much court time on the floor in this third quarter.
Larry Austin again getting in the passing lane. Average 1.9 steals a game. That's only 2nd on the team behind Ricky McGill, but top 10 in the league. He only has 1 steal, credit for 1 steal, but he's been wreaking havoc all night long defensively.
Well,
there he is again.
Yeah, Onwas picked it away, and Larry Austin Jr. was right back, and that is the end of the third quarter as the Newcastle Eagles finally have the advantage. But there's 10 more minutes left in this game, and coming back after this break, we'll find out who will take the victory. 2 dimes off a double-double, hitting the triple to put Newcastle Eagles in the lead. Jordan Johnson for 3. Getting it done for the Eagles.
Yeah, Jordan Johnson finding his rhythm in that third quarter from a scoring standpoint. He's done a great job. We talked about early in the game, what he does so well is keep himself involved in the game by getting his teammates going. He had 5 assists in the first half, so it allowed him, even though his shots weren't falling, he still feels part of the game. And now he gets 1 3 to go down. He gets another 3 to go down. You look up, he's got 9 points in that quarter. And now all of a sudden he's feeling it from a scoring standpoint, which is not a good sign for Caledonia.
Well, let's see if the Gladiators can hit back in this one. Clifton Moore Jr. one-on-one here with Delpesh to the left-hand hook. It's no good this time.
That's what Malcolm Delpesh brings to you on defense as well. Darius Defoe, obviously capable. He's done it for a lot of years, but we obviously talk about it all the time. He is aging. Malcolm Delpesh brings that big, strong, physical, athletic 5-man that can also apparently step out and knock down a shot. You owe that man an apology because you said he was not known for his jump shoot.
Yeah, well, he isn't, and that's why you were sounding so surprised. 15 points personal for Delpesh, having a great ball game coming off the bench today for the Eagles. Now a strong drive there from Whelan to find Kyle Johnson, and Caledonia hit the triple left hand at the 45.
That is an unbelievable pass from Patrick Whelan. We've talked about this year how great he's been at becoming a playmaker and how he's expanded his game. But going downhill, passing it around Malcolm Delpesh to Kyle Johnson at the 45 when Kyle Johnson should have been in the corner. That was a high degree of difficulty pass. We'll take a look again. Malcolm Delpesh, great job, keeps him on his hip, throws it under the arm. Normally Kyle Johnson would be in the corner there, but throwing it backwards going downhill is a high level pass from Patrick Whelan as Ricky McGill came back down and got to the line very quickly as well.
McGill knocks down the first of his 2 free throws here. Of course, part of that 3-guard attack of Larry Austin Jr. and Jordan Johnson, but has been in the British Basketball League previously. He spent some time in Plymouth when they were formerly known as the Raiders, scored in incredible numbers in that season. Went away, continued on his craft and came back to the league now with this lineup for the Newcastle Eagles, and definitely continuing to make noise. As Quade Green now looks to try and find the pass, and saw Johnson turned away to try and settle the defender, but it was intercepted as Ricky McGill gets another 2 points on the board. There's 20 points there, 4 rebounds, 4 assists and 4 steals for Ricky McGill, candidate for player of the game. And if you're wondering who you think the player of the game is, then let us know in the YouTube comments if you're watching online. As Johnson tries to finger roll that in, Larry Austin Jr. Newcastle Eagles are in fine form. Corner 3 for Whitfield. That rolls around the rim. Kyle Johnson with the rebound. Bounce pass now. Mike Bothwell, and oh my goodness. A foul is called, but Jordan Johnson was coming back just to let him know about it. Talking a little bit of trash.
Jordan Johnson. Not the biggest guy in the world, but he got a lot of dog in him. He's not going back down from anybody.
You know what the funny thing is that he's got quite a high-pitched voice as well. So he's talking to you, he's talking deep stuff in a high-pitched voice, and you can't say nothing to him because he's got game to back it up as well. Johnson and Johnson crime right there. Kyle Johnson and Jordan Johnson going at it. We like that though, leaving it all with words, nothing physical, adding to the atmosphere of this game. And still looking at each other, staring one another up and down. I'm a better Johnson than you. And there's Bothwell knocking down the first free throw. And now Kyle Johnson is okay, let's keep it amicable. We're family.
Jordan Johnson got a lot of bite behind that bark. I don't know. Kyle Johnson from Scarborough, though. I know about Scarborough because of our coach last year. Ash, he used to talk about Scarborough in nonsense like it was the greatest place, toughest place on earth. I still ain't buying it, but
well, yeah. Scarborough in Canada.
In Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, there is a Scarborough in England. It's very different. As Delpesh rises up, but I think the whistle was blown. Didn't quite see what the call with the official. It was a blocking foul. And now a sideline ball for the Newcastle Eagles. Johnson to inbound, they lead by 4. Johnson splits the screen, nice hands there from Quade Green. He's gonna pull up in transition for 3. It looked good. Delpesh up on the boards.
Don't love that shot from Quade Green. He's been really good tonight. He gets the steal. You gotta go. Your team is struggling to get points right now. You gotta go get the easy bucket, even though he's very capable of making that shot.
McGill, bounce pass inside, is deflected away. Clifton Moore with his long reach, and now Mike Bothwell reading the defense and does well to hold that ball away from him. Lets out a little bit of roar of energy.
Tough finish from Michael Bothwell, going with the offhand over the contesting Ricky McGill. A little sloppy here, turned into a little bit more sloppy like it did in the first quarter, but Caledonia taking advantage of the turnovers to get back in this game.
Well, we've got a timeout here. We've got the next 4 fixtures for the Newcastle Eagles that are coming up for them, and they said they've got 6 games left before the playoff. You know, Leicester away, tough game. That rivalry continues. We saw those games, how tough they were earlier in the season. Then they're at home against the Bristol Flyers, are trying to get things done. Away against the Surrey Scorchers, that are by name, you know, a 3-point lights-out shooting team. And then they take on the Cheshire Phoenix, you know, the team that everybody is fearing in this league. Tough fixtures for them.
Much respect to Cheshire, the Trophy Cup Finals winner. However, definitely not everybody fearing them in this league, but that was cute. That was cute what you just did. Yeah, that was cute what you just did.
Listen,
that was cute. Yeah. But they've had a great season. Definitely going to be a tough game for Newcastle and Caledonia as well. As you see, they have Surrey as well, Cheshire as well coming up, and then Sheffield and Plymouth. So a tough schedule for both of these teams, which makes this game even more important, but 4 playoff teams for Newcastle coming up.
7 minutes, 1 second remaining. I thought you were going to say on that. I was waiting for you to bite on that fear element of the Cheshire Phoenix. I thought JT's next. Let's see. Let's see.
I can be a graceful loser. You know, they have a great team. Congrats to them again, but you know, don't play in my face.
Yeah. Well, you got another big game coming up tomorrow, which we'll talk about a little later on. Is Larry Austin Jr. finds a way to the bucket, finishing at the rim for 2.
There's that Spanish action again. The stack action is Michael Bothwell gets back downhill, gets to his left hand this time. 4 in a row for him. Larry Austin got his 4th point. It's got to be a call there. It ends up being a charge.
Bodies on the floor. Yeah, an offensive foul called on Ricky McGill, and his teammates saying, stop talking, get back on defense. Here he is. And Onwas does the smart thing. He does go down relatively easily, but Ricky McGill's got his head down there, Jordan. He's not looking up. He's trying to get the control of the ball, and his forearm out right into the hip of Onwas. And that is, I believe, Ricky McGill's 4 personal foul.
4 personal. He spent a lot of the last game, a lot of time in foul trouble the last time these two matched up. He got his 4th personal early in the 3rd, this time early in the 4th. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't love that call, even though you mentioned he had his head down. Anwar still wasn't quite in a legal guarding position for me, but we'll see if Coach Mark Studel wants to, or how long he'll keep Ricky McGill over there on that sideline.
Quade Green having to play a little bit of piggy in the middle with Josh Ward-Hibbert and Princeton Onwas as they throw it over the top, and Green uses the screen. What a move that is by Green. He lets it fly at the rim. Wow, how he got through that gap, I do not know.
He is so smooth getting downhill, splitting screens, finding little gaps and crevices to get into the paint. Very skilled off the dribble and off the ball screen from Quade Green.
That's it, mate. Like cash falling down the sofa, right? On a couch for you, is that what you're saying? Yeah.
I've never heard that saying. Is that a thing?
No, I just made it up right now.
You just made it up? All right, see?
Here we go.
That's part of that. You putting rhymes in now. This part is poetry right now?
Yeah, this is it. Spoken word. Quade Green off the dribble. Mid-range money. That is poetry in motion right there, JT.
That is poetry in motion, and somebody better find that man, put a body on him. Don't let him get free, because if you give him an ounce of space, he's going to make you pay, and he is giving Newcastle everything they want right now as Josh Ward-Hibbert gets in the paint, gets back to the line, and this is how Newcastle got back in the game. So great job by, when they were down early, great job by Josh Ward-Hibbert to reestablish that driving presence.
Well, here is play. Quade Green stepping in the mid-range.
Just a high-level play by Quade Green. As you see the one, he split the screen there. No rim protection after you split the green. All guards for Newcastle out there. So just gets to the paint. And then a nice, sweet shot fake, one dribble pull-up, kind of a lost art in basketball. Josh Ward-Hibbert knocks down the first. Clifton Moore picked up his fourth on that, which we'll see how that plays out as well.
Well, Coach Gareth Murray's got the trust in him to keep him in the game. And look, there's 5 minutes 29. If you're not going to keep him in the game now, you know, you've got Lucas Peliza, maybe that could come in off the bench, push Princeton onwards to the 5. Oscar Baldwin's also sitting there. Pat Whelan's just got up now to come into the game. Let's see how Gareth maneuvers here, and he'll sub Kyle Johnson out. Whelan comes in, and Clifton Moore Jr. stays in the game.
That's where Newcastle has a bit of an advantage, is they have more depth. When Ricky McGill goes out with 4 fouls, you have Larry Austin, who only has 4 points, but averages 13 on the season. Whereas Clifton Moore, not a good foul there by Josh Ward-Hibbert, trying to pressure the ball. Don't want to foul that far from the basket, but like I said, you have Larry Austin, who's very capable of replacing some of that production of Ricky McGill while he sits out. With Pharaoh Ali Hozic on the sideline right now, you have to go to Oscar Baldwin, who isn't quite giving you the production. So a tough decision here from Coach Murray.
Here is Green again in possession, 24 points personal. 3 away from his average this season. As he goes to the bucket, will go to the line. What do you think it is about, you know, I think, well, it's an art in itself. Smaller guards get into the bucket. They're not only trying to score the ball, they're putting their bodies in difficult positions to allow the contact to occur, to potentially give them a chance to get to the free throw line as well. How do you work on something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you watch basketball for one, and really it's about geometry. It's playing angles. As you see, Quade Green didn't quite get around Darius Defoe, but he got an angle to the rim where he could see the basket. He turned Darius Defoe's hips, and then he closed down space. And when you close down someone's bigger space, someone who is bigger than you, their space doesn't allow them to get off the floor. It eliminates the shot blocking ability. And really the only way you can do that is just hours and hours work on that is hours and hours in the gym, which Quade Green has clearly put the work in, as it's showing right now.
The unseen hours make the big name players who they are. And Quade Green is stamping his name as a big name player in the British Basketball League.
Some of that stuff is just natural too. Some of the stuff you just can't work on. It's just a natural talent, and Quade Green has that natural talent to kind of turn corners, bend his body, slip into cracks that other people just can't get into.
Defoe, great use of the elbows there from Defoe. They can't get the finish. Caledonia ball. Defoe standing wide with that elbow and using the pivot for the finish, and doesn't go down. But it's a 2-point lead now for the Caledonia Gladiators. Right after this break, this game will conclude. Don't go anywhere. young fans on a great night out at the Virtu Motors Arena, back in the Eagles. But right here on the court, we're seeing two teams go to battle as Green has possession.
See, the kids have figured out how to act in front of the camera.
Yeah, they got it. Young people usually do, as Kwame Green, defender in the blender, to the right hand for two.
My, that is a tough move. Just an isolation on Newcastle's probably best defender, or one of their best defenders, in Josh Ward-Hibbert. He's not easy to score on, and Kwame Green just sliced him up.
Johnson, guarded by Bothwell. Defoe eventually sets the screen and rolls off of it. Whelan switches onto him. Josh Ward-Hibbert, huge three to beat the buzzer, no good. Clifton Moore Jr. with the rebound. 4 minutes remaining in this one. Who's going to have the last laugh?
Great job by Clifton Moore to clean up the glass. That's what, ooh, Kwame Green, that should be a travel.
Yeah, it's well, actually, the referee calls the ball out of bounds there rather than a travel.
Caledonia right now has to keep Larry Austin and Taj Green, who just checked out. Larry Austin off the offensive glass, no extra possessions for Newcastle. And if you're Newcastle, you have to get in the paint, get downhill, put pressure on Caledonia, make the referees put you back at the line. Not good spacing on this possession right now.
Oh, and well, that was interesting, the defensive rotation there. You would have seen Mike Bothwell push Kwame Green, and in doing that action, he lost Ricky McGill behind him.
Yeah, a little kind of, Newcastle just got lucky. I don't even think Newcastle knew what they were doing there, but it was enough to, like you said, confuse or mix up Caledonia. Ricky McGill ends up with the layup, and that's good.
Green getting into that space. 30 points personal. There it is, Kwame Green. Another 30-point ball game.
And that's just too easy. But again, you see the chess match.
And the offensive foul is called there by the official, Larry Austin Jr. Taking down Princeton on West. Jordan Taylor says no.
No. That is, I'm not a fan of that call. Larry Austin's going towards the corner. He gets to the hip of Princeton Onwas. Princeton Onwas does a smart job at falling down, but that's a college basketball call. I've never been a fan of that type of charge. Tough call there from Larry Austin.
And he's still talking to the official about it now. Here is that call.
I'm not a fan of it. It's somewhat of a flop as well. There's no way.
Are you thinking of it from a guard's position?
I'm thinking of it as Princeton Onwas is 240 pounds. There's no way he's falling down that easy.
The answer is yes.
Like,
you're thinking of it from a guard's position.
He's not even in legal guarding position, but it's a makeup call, if we will.
Yeah, charge down the other side of the floor. Defoe putting his body on the line, as he does every night for the Newcastle Eagles. For the many, many, many years he's represented them. And end line possession.
You see the chess matches. Gareth Murray's done a great job later in this half, taking the ball off the sidelines. As we mentioned, that ice defense was giving Caledonia a lot of problems. Everything they've done in this half, or at least later in this half, has been from the middle of the floor, and Kwame Green is having his way because he's going to either hand. You can't put him on his weak hand. He's too good with his left with that in and out crossover. Going to his right, he's going to get downhill.
Well, Defoe sets the screen now for Jordan Johnson. A hard hedge there, or soft hedge, should I say, from Clifton Moore Jr. Retreats back to his defensive assignment, but Jordan Johnson goes to work on his defender and finishes.
Great D, better O. Michael Bothwell does a great job. Jordan Johnson with a crafty step through and finish.
16.8 assists for Jordan Johnson. Bothwell goes down. Ricky McGill, nice hands from Princeton Onwas. Does enough.
Great play from Princeton Onwas. A little bit of backwards defense, just swipes his hand and gets it. Oh, and Kwame Green lost the handle and then gets it back.
Oh, well, the referee, one referee pointed in the direction of Newcastle. The second referee, Unsworth, changed the direction of the call and said it's actually a Caledonia ball. 78 to 80, 2-point game, 145 on it. It just slips away from Green there. Let's take a look. Johnson has it. Green puts his hand in the cookie jar. And oh, it is Jordan Johnson. Eagle eyes. Simon Unsworth. He got the call right. Props to the referee. We've given the referee props. Listen carefully. Well done, referee. That's correct. You've got to reward the referees when they're right.
You got to show the refs loves when they get it right. Simon Unsworth steps in. Really wasn't his call to make. He was behind the play. So a great eagle eye, as you mentioned, to get that call right. And at the end of the day, that's all you really want.
Listen to Coach Gareth Murray here. Coach Gareth Murray, extensive knowledge. Many GB caps represented also. The Caledonia colours when they were known as the Glasgow Rocks. Played in Europe also. Gareth Murray knows his stuff, Jordan Taylor.
He does know his stuff, and he's really drawn up a couple good things, or not a couple, a lot of good things here for Caledonia, and he's made a lot of really good adjustments. A really cool chess match from Coach Studel and Coach Murray tonight that we've gotten to watch. Here I would expect them to potentially, they ran a great set earlier in the third quarter off of Iverson's screen to get Patrick Wheeling going to his right, and then a pin down for Quade Green. This time they go inside to Clifton Moore.
And it's great action. Yeah.
Great action.
Excellent. Clifton Moore Jr. He's been relatively quiet scoring-wise in this game, but has done enough to get himself 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Silently efficient.
Just kind of a ram screen there for Clifton Moore with the smaller Jordan Johnson. Quade Green said it. Jordan Johnson is going to deliver on time, all the time. A tough finish and one.
Well, he's got a chance to bring this game to a 1-point ball game. Check this out. Jordan Johnson, pump fake. Mike Bothwell on his heels, going to the bucket. Don't jump. You're going to hit me. And there's the bucket and one.
Just a great individual effort from Jordan Johnson. Going back to that ATO from Caledonia, great ram screen for Clifton Moore. Jordan Johnson couldn't switch. Got Clifton Moore the ball right in front of the rim, but now what are you going to do? You got to go back to this middle ball screen with Quade Green. Give it to your guy who's been killing for you. Make a play. There he is. Oh, he got away with a travel.
Quade Green can't finish there. Ricky McGill was in the air. Misses one of the easiest shots he had to take on the night.
One of the easiest shots. He got away with the travel as well. Great job by Larry Austin to clean it up.
Well, here is Ricky McGill. Stolen away, Quade Green. 1-on-1 now, and Jordan Johnson shows him how to make a foul. An unsportsmanlike foul. And that's more an unsportsmanlike foul due to the technicality of being the last defender rather than trying to make a play for the ball.
Yeah, I think actually Jordan Johnson was making a play for the ball.
Correct, yeah.
But he was the last defender, so it's similar to a take foul.
And it was a pretty hard foul nonetheless. And 2 shots to come now for Quade Green. On the line, chance to take his tally to 32 points.
89% free throw shooter on the season.
There's the first.
That's water.
Yeah. Is water wet? Let's not start that debate.
There's no debate. Started and finished. Been had.
Oh dear. Well, look, Caledonia now with a chance to extend their lead to 3. They'll get the sideline possession as well as a result of the unsportsmanlike foul. 51.4 seconds on it. They can make this a 2-possession game if they make a good look at the basket here and take advantage of it.
Plenty of time left in Newcastle. You got to get a stop. You know where the ball is going. It's going to Quade Green in the middle of the floor. Or maybe not. Patrick Wheeling decides to. They had the mismatch.
Onwas. I see what they were trying to do there, but Onwas was off, and he is a little cold. He missed that one. Josh Ward-Hibbert attacks the baseline. Clifton Moore Jr. makes him retreat. patience here. Josh Ward-Hibbert, the tough triple, had nowhere else to go. Onwas with the board. They're going to try and foul here, surely, to stop the clock. Whelan, oh, there's nothing coming of it. Bothwell has it, and the foul eventually does come. Josh Ward-Hibbert reaches round, and that will send Mike Bothwell to the line. 17.2 on the clock. There is time for Newcastle Eagles to get back into it, but they left a lot of seconds on the floor there.
Left a lot of seconds on the floor. You fouled the right guy. You put Mike Bothwell to the line. Only 74% free throw shooters. Probably your best option, maybe other than Princeton Onwas out there. But if you're both teams, you're questioning the shot selection on both sides late in the game. Clifton Moore had a mismatch with Jordan Johnson under the basket. You got to get him that ball for a layup. And then on the other end, that's not the matchup you want. I love Josh Ward-Hibbert to death, but one-on-one with Clifton Moore on the perimeter is not where you want the ball when you got Jordan Johnson and Ricky McGill on the floor.
Well, the Caledonia fans have traveled in their numbers. They're up onto their feet. Look at that traveling conglomerate as Bothwell goes 2 for 2. 2-possession game, 5 points is the difference, and you can see what it means. Newcastle Eagles fans walking out, Caledonia Gladiators fans standing up. 17.2, but there's plenty of time left in this one, JT.
Yeah, plenty of time left. You have 17 seconds, down 5. You can still play the free throw game, so you can still get a quick 2. Hope Caledonia misses 1 out of 2, and then get another quick 2. There's plenty of time left.
Let's listen in to Mark Stewart.
Okay, right here. As soon as that's happening, Josh, back screen Darius this way, okay? Rick, screener here for Josh in the corner, okay? LA, let's hit here, hit Rick, and fly off like you're in a guard-to-guard. Rick, make the hand-off, turn and get downhill, Rick. As soon as he's downhill, Bo, you're here on a hammer screen for JJ. Rick, you got JJ in the corner, or as soon as these set it, slip it right to the ring here, okay? That makes sense? Hey, 2-3 seconds, 4. We deny everything on the inbound. 2 seconds, we foul. Let's go. Let's go.
Wow, interesting thoughts there from Mark Strutel. It seems like a complex offense, but there's 3 key actions in there.
Yeah, I mean, really 2 key actions. What you want to do is you want to get Ricky McGill the ball in a scoring zone, allow him to get a quick score, a quick 2 like we talked about, but he's going to have the option with a hammer screen, which is a back screen to the corner for Jordan Johnson for the 3 if that's there. So you want to score quick. If the layup's there, you take it, but keep an eye on Jordan Johnson in that corner if you can get the quick 3 as well.
Well, here's Josh Ward-Hibbert going to the opposite corner. Ricky McGill wants to go downhill, try to find the foul. He does that, doesn't score the and 1 play, but he's going to get 2 shots here for the Newcastle Eagles to chip away at this Caledonia League, and they did exactly what Mark Stewart wanted. They only took a couple of seconds off the game clock.
It's exactly great execution there by Newcastle, by Ricky McGill. Great execution defensively by Caledonia as well to take away that hammer screen and even make it tough. Ideally, if you're Coach Stewart there, you want to put Quade Green in that action. He's the smallest defender. He was off the ball. He wasn't even in the play. So great job by Caledonia at hiding Quade Green in that situation. Even though he's not a terrible defender, as Ricky McGill misses the first, that hurts.
Yeah, that does hurt indeed, but making this one will give them, once again, that little bit of hope they need. They have come back from behind in this game to take the lead. Once they led by 6, and Caledonia came back to reclaim that lead, and another timeout called this time by Gareth Murray. I'm guessing he's going to want to advance the ball up the floor here, JT.
Yeah, he might advance the ball. Honestly, I prefer to take it full court in this situation. Just you have more space to work with. In a half court, you can't go in the back court. So if you throw it over in the back court, it's over and back. Or if you take it under the baseline, you have plenty of space to work with. You know they're going to foul. And it's just, again, it's just more space.
But if you turn it over in the backcourt as well and they're closer to your rim to get that quick score, that's the other risk, right?
Yeah, of course, but if you turn it over...
This is the pros and cons of it, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, if you turn it over under the basket, they can lay it up quickly. But I don't think you're necessarily anticipating turning it over. I think if you turn it over in the front court, going towards the back court, it's going to be a shoot the lane steal, and they're going to have a layup anyway. So for me, I like taking it out in the backcourt, running some guys towards the rim, and then bringing your best guard back to it. Maybe a back screen from Quade Green, and then giving him space, allowing him to play like one-on-one, kind of like American football, and just get open that way. And if they double from the baseline, bring your next best shooter to it. But And we'll see. It looks like they're going to advance it, so a lot of options here.
Yeah, advancing the ball here. And, you know, the other element of this is they want to kill the game by scoring the ball as well, I guess, is Gareth Murray's decision-making on this process.
And there is another thing to keep in mind, that Caledonia, even though winning this game kind of puts them out of reach, they do need to get the tiebreaker. I think they have to win by maybe 4 or more points.
Well, Patrick Whelan is fouled. Foul is called here on Devon Whitfield. Patrick Whelan will go to the line. He's got 10 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Patrick Whelan, 3 for 7 from the field, 3 and for 7 from the three-point line. That's where all his shots have come tonight. He's been to the free throw line twice in this game, 1 for 2. I cursed him on one of those free throws, unfortunately. That's why he missed it.
You've been cursing everybody.
Yeah,
tonight,
well, he's going to make this one. Yes, he is. There it is, Patrick Whelan. And listen, you can't deny that Mark Stutel's Newcastle Eagles have given everything in this game. They were trailing for so long, and they held on so long. And Whelan goes 2 for 2. 6 points the difference now, 11.9, and Mark Stutel will call it in for another timeout, another opportunity to try and draw something up. Well, look, I know this is a big game right now, 11.9 on the clock, but you also have a big game tomorrow. Coach Petr Bozic is probably texting you right now, JT, why you ain't in bed? Because we've got a massive game tomorrow against Paris basketball in the Euro Cup semi-final.
Yeah, big game tomorrow. Obviously, second leg of a 3-game series, a must-win for us. Didn't go as we wanted to in Paris, but we get back home in front of our home crowd tomorrow with a chance to tie up the series. And obviously, it's one of those type of games that don't come around too often. So super excited about the opportunity to even up the series.
Well, Coach Petr Bozic there, as you saw, got ejected from that game after 2 technical fouls. But that's game 1 in favor of Paris basketball. They come to a sold-out Copper Box Arena tomorrow. I'll be there getting the crowd engaged and hyped. JT will be there doing his stuff on the floor, trying to make those triples off the glass from the left 45 on the buzzer, getting everyone hyped as he's done so many times already this season. But look, let's focus back in on this game right now. It's 82-88 the score, and Newcastle Eagles, pivotal moment for them. I'm hoping they're looking for a 3-point opportunity or an and-one play here to see if they can close the gap. 10 seconds left in this one. Ricky McGill throws it up. It's not what he wanted. Larry Austin Jr. inside with a quick 2. 5.1.
Newcastle should foul here. They're not. They need to call the foul. Newcastle needs to get this under 4 points, because Caledonia now holds the tiebreaker. If obviously Caledonia goes up 3 games here, but if something crazy were to happen, Newcastle can tie Caledonia. They need to get this to under 3 points to keep the tiebreaker. They won by 12 and they won by 9, and then Caledonia won by 18. As Ricky McGill fouls out, Devon Whitfield will check in. So right now, point differential of +1 for Caledonia. So these are still pivotal points for both sides. Patrick Whelan makes it +2. Make it interesting if Newcastle hits a buzzer beater, Patrick Whelan hits this, and then Newcastle hits a buzzer beater. That would create a complete tie in the standings if they were to have an even record at some point.
Well, here we go, playing for points difference. Patrick Whelan goes 2 for 2 from the line, 90-84. Clock winds down. Jordan Johnson from halfway, but that will be the end of the game. The Caledonia Gladiators, they will take victory on the road at the Virtu Motors Arena. 84-90, the final score in this one, in what has been an exciting contest to call, and some stellar individual performances. It wasn't to be for Ricky McGill. Jordan Johnson and the Newcastle Eagles on the night, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals for Ricky McGill as he was fouled out. But the player of the game, Jordan Taylor, has to be that man. You let us know.
Yeah, he is him. He is that man. Quad A Green, there he is, 32 points. Only 2 assists tonight, 2 steals to go along with it. but he entirely dominated this game on the offensive end. He took over when he needed to for Caledonia. 11 of 18 from the field, 2 of 5 from the three-point line, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. And he was everything that we advertised at the top of the broadcast for the Caledonia Gladiators.
Well, that's his second 30-point game. He's had 2 25-point games in a row as well, against Manchester and against London. And he had 18 points against the Leicester Riders as well this season. That valiant victory on the road. He really is a force to be reckoned with, and he continues to perform as we see their team huddle. Gareth Murray talking it up. Caledonia pushing the pace, and we will be hearing, I believe, from Quade Green very, very shortly.
Caledonia hit a bit of a snag offensively in the middle part of that game. They obviously started off the game 7 of 11 from the three-point line, 27 first quarter points, and then only 34 points total in the second and third period. Newcastle did a great job at bottling up that offense. They went to that ice defense. Great job by Coach Studel.
What's this? He's getting tips. What's this about, man? I want me some tips. What's going on here, guys? Caledonia fans, give out. You need a new contract at Caledonia. Get tips.
Stop begging. Stop begging. Stop begging. That man earned them tips. He earned that money.
Yeah, he did. He did indeed.
Good job, he took over the game. They went to that middle ball screen. He was unstoppable with the rock in his hands.
My bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out. Right, here he is then. Quade Green, just checking their headphones there. Quade, first and foremost, and congratulations on the win. But secondly, are they giving you tips now, Caledonia fans? You getting tips for performances?
Money green, baby. Money green. That's what they call me out there.
Well, congratulations. 32 points performance, your second 30-point performance of the season so far. How are you enjoying your time here in the British Basketball League? It seems like you're enjoying the style of play. It's suited to your style of play as well, and your teammates are making things easy for you to score the ball as well.
Oh yeah, like you said, it's my teammates really, man. I can't get 33 or 30 points, 20 points, 15 without them really. Good screens, good passes, and I'm just trying to help them on defensive as much as I could, and I know I can. And they help me on the offensive end too. Just give me easy looks, finding me when I'm open. I find them when they open. And we had a great team win today, man. I got to salute our team and our coaching staff today, man. We had a great team win. The rest wasn't giving us no cause, and we came out and fight to the end. That's why you see what happened.
Hey, Quade is Jordan Taylor here from London Lions, man. Great game tonight. Congrats on the win. I'm chilling, man. That NIL or that tip money you getting, you a young boy. That's better than that Kentucky NIL money or what?
Oh man, I can't say that.
you from the NIL era. No, I'm just playing. But listen, man, talk about what you work on in the summer. You're so crafty with the ball screen, getting into crevices, the in and out cross into a pull-up. I don't think people understand how tough that shot is. So just talk about what you work on in the summer to hone your game.
Oh man, it's just not one summer, man. It's a decade of hard work and dedication and commitment to the game, and try to get better all year round. Really, every year you gotta get better, 1% better. I feel like every day. So it's just not one year, one summer. It takes a long time, man. A long time to get it like that. It takes a long time.
Man, absolutely, you ain't right. And everything you have is fun to watch you play, man. You got that Philly game in you, so I enjoy watching you play, man.
Just last question then, Quade. How does your time here in Europe compare to other leagues that you've played in before? What is it about the European game, that KST game, but more importantly, you know, how is the level of competitiveness compared to those other competitions as well?
Oh man, this league is very competitive to compare to the other countries I've been to. This league is second to none, really, man. This is a great league to play in, high tempo. We got good players on every team, like London, Newcastle. These guys right here in Manchester. There's a lot of guards and a lot of great players in this league too. So, and everybody's trying to get a level up. So everybody's doing what they need to do to get higher than this.
Well, thank you very much. Go join your team, Quade. They want to take that group photo. We're holding you up. Great job, player of the game.
Congrats,
Thank you.
Man.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Well, let's take a look at those full-time stats for you there, JT. What's the difference?
And the difference is the turnovers. Both teams have turnovers, but I think it was timely turnovers. One, and also obviously the 3-point differential. Caledonia started off 7 for 11, only finished 3 for 12. Newcastle just couldn't quite find the range. They were great at the free throw line. But for me, both teams had moments of sloppiness, but late in the game, it was Newcastle's inability to execute down the stretch when Caledonia executed just enough.
Well, it's time to hear from the head coach of the Caledonia Gladiators, Gareth Murray. Well, look, you started that game on fire, but Newcastle, as you knew, came back into the game. They were tough. They were getting to the rim. They were getting to the free throw line. And at the end, you did enough to get over the line.
Yeah, for sure. I think we got to the free throw line. Second half was key. We only had 7 free throws in the first half. I think we finished the game with 27, so that definitely 20 free throws in the second half helped us keep the taking over the scoring. We were a bit of a drought when Newcastle came back. You know, they're a high-scoring team. If we can continue to score against them, that's what gave us the win.
Coach Gareth Murray, what's going on? It's Jordan Taylor here, man. Congrats
hey, JT,
on the win.
Up,
Not much.
Thank you.
What does it mean to have a closer like Quade Green? What does that do for your nerves on the sidelines late in the game?
Yeah, definitely. It's a talent, right? He's talent. He makes plays. He makes shots when you really need it, and that's what we were kind of missing earlier in the season. A guy that can really create his own shot and get other people easy ones. You know, the ball's in his hands towards the end to be a playmaker, and that's what he did. And we needed that. We were struggling at moments where we couldn't score the ball, and he gave us that spark.
And last but most definitely not least, you know, some really tough games coming up next. What's your plans for these upcoming fixtures going in towards the end of the into the playoffs? Yeah,
we're just trying to play good basketball, to be honest. We were really working on the defense, trying to get stops, trying to force turnovers. I think our defense has definitely improved in the last few weeks. Keeps us taking over on the offensive end, but just playing good basketball. We've got a couple of guys still to come back from injury, so we're hopefully deep in the roster a little bit and get some more guys a little bit of rest going in towards the playoffs. But we want to play good basketball. Everybody wants the same, right? They want to play good basketball going into the playoffs. We just want to keep taking over, getting wins. Rest our bodies now. We head to Surrey tomorrow afternoon.
Well, it's great to see your team win on the road with the travelling fans. Great support from them. Congratulations, Gareth.
Thank you. Yeah, the fans are amazing. The fans are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Gareth.
Thanks.
Right then, let's take a look at the story of the half then. JT, Newcastle Eagles, they got themselves finally into the lead after tying several times.
Yeah, they got into a deficit, obviously, and then they battled. They left a lot of energy out there, but that's the problem. When you get down early and you got to expend all that energy to get back in the game, sometimes it's tough to give that late game push. And in the end, it was Quade Green who just had enough to get Caledonia over the top.
Well, he was scoring the ball in abundance. But it was very difficult for him to be able to find his teammates with the kind of opportunities they were given. However, he did find Clifton Moore Jr. on a couple of occasions.
He found Clifton Moore Jr. on a couple of occasions. He found the bottom of the basket on many more occasions. And his ability to get in the paint and just shift defenders and create for himself is really just uncanny. I think there's only a couple guys in the league that can do it at his level. Matt Morgan, Jordan Johnson, those type of guys. You see Jordan Johnson got into the act late. But Caledonia, again, just made enough plays. You see the crazy pass for Patrick Whelan. Just enough from Caledonia. Great job by them.
Were Newcastle Eagles unlucky not to win this game overall?
No, I think that's what happened. Like I said, when you get down that early, you put yourself in a deficit. It's hard to battle back, I guess, especially against a team that executes like Caledonia.
Well, there you have it. Quade Green, the player of the game, the Caledonia Gladiators, the victors in this one in the battle in 3rd and 4th position in the British Basketball League Championships. Well, let's take a look at the results. Well, there it is. There's only one so far, but there's lots of games coming up. 7 more fixtures this weekend for you live on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Make sure you lock in live, also on TikTok and on Twitch, and live on Sky Sports on Friday. Tomorrow, the Brebraun Sheffield Sharks take on the Leicester Riders. But also don't forget, JT's London Lions will be in action against Paris Basketball. Multi-screen available. YouTube, Sky Sports, and of course, the other competitor that are fielding the game for the Euro Cup. Right, let's take a look at those standings then for you. Live and direct. This is after today's actions. Leicester Riders, despite their previous results, move up into 4th position in the British Basketball League standings. But that's how close it is in this league right now. Well, Jordan, look, we had fun today, without a doubt. And, you know, you see these two teams. For me, I know that the league, has already been decided, and some of the positioning or whether you're qualified has been decided. For me, the playoffs now is a real informed guide to kind of understand what teams look like going into the playoffs, and that's what makes it exciting for me. What about yourself?
What makes it exciting for me right now is the jumble in the middle of the pack that you have. Caledonia is pushing Cheshire to get to that 2 seed. Newcastle is in danger zone right now. They got to go to Surrey. They don't want to drop down to that 6 seed and potentially that 7 seed. That would put them in a bad position going on the road to Cheshire or something like that first round. So it's going to get real interesting these last 5 games.
Cheshire?
You got to ask. I can't speak for Jordan Johnson in the game. You got to ask them boys.
Listen, I'm sure they will face them head on as they have done for many years. Well, thank you very much for joining us here in the UK or in the USA. My name has been Ty Hadja alongside Jordan Taylor. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.